This was mad fun. I enjoy trading. It's like a video game. I play a lot. I'm an editor, video editor. I'm always on the keyboard, so I think I can get really speedy with it, really quick with it, and become more of a more of a crackhead trader than Sean. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Apparently a crackhead trader. All right, guys.
I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you to Sharif for talking with his voice gone. This guy absolutely bodied it. And if anything, maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Man, bro, yo, if you get 1,000 likes right now when we go to close show, possibly I'll be on tomorrow.
Brendo's at the big desk. Have a great day, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, 2 o'clock, couple hours left on a Monday afternoon, shaping up to be a decent one. We are back to the upside right across the board here for North American markets. Hope your afternoon is shaping up very well. Just seeing Rumble popping up here on volume, I guess, with DWAC, so just be aware. RUM and DWAC making moves. Here's how things are shaping up with a couple hours left in the day. 0.76 right now for the S&P. Leading things, 1.08 for the Dow. Yeah, the NASDAQ is green officially after lagging all morning long. The other two, both the Dow and the S&P getting there first off. NASDAQ just recently here going green. So hopefully we can extend this into the close. We'll see. Hold on to some key levels. Anyways, crude oil is still negative on the day there. About 0.6, some positivity, bottom end of the board. Bitcoin and Ethereum still green on the day. Speaking of, really nice looking boards, 0.71 at the top there. It's only FRC, ouch, negative 33% right now for FRC on the day. If you missed it, this morning a private placement announced. Since then, we learned that JP Morgan is also working with the bank on exploring some strategic alternatives. That phrase you never want to hear when a company is struggling. So they also said that could include the possibility of an equity raise. So they're thinking about maybe offering shares to increase liquidity, increase cash for the overall bank. Overall, though, financials have been the most influential group in the S&P 500 all day once again. Still nicely green overall outside of, obviously, FRC. Industrials, tech, healthcare, materials, consumer discretionary, energy, utility, the entire market otherwise is positive on the day. So a few individual laggards overall, including that one right there, Advanced Micro Devices down 2.4, Intel 2.6. Some of the clean energy names in this group, though, including Enphase, offsetting that, and then some. ENPH up 5% on the afternoon. Really good day for ENPH. First Solar about 2.5% still. Microsoft, yeah, lagging a little bit as well, about 3% downside. So a bit of a mixed day as far as tech is concerned. We'll get into that a little bit more, and we'll get into big tech a little bit more coming up here as we get into a bit of a review of the day. We're going to talk a little bit about, excuse me, bear with me, still trying to keep my voice intact as we head through the afternoon. We're going to talk a little bit about what we were dealing with this morning in the pre-market as far as opportunities were concerned. A ton to consider as far as the banking sector was concerned, including FRC. Initially downside, we saw a bit of a flush on that JP Morgan note. We'll have a look at that. Some of the other regional banks, not as bad. In fact, positive on the day. So maybe this banking group is finally finding some stability outside of FRC. Let's jump right into an idea from this morning, in fact, that we were discussing. Neil is back from March break, and he's going to lead us off this afternoon.
Welcome. Your trade of the day is always brought to you by Day Trade of the World. It's going to be Coinbase. Big rally last week. Every day of the week it was to the upside, coming into some big levels, looking for the reversal. Now, I know everybody wants Fahad's Apple trade to be trade of the day. Maybe we'll have him do one tomorrow, but it is going to be Coin here. And it's not that I don't believe in the move to the upside, but when you pop the daily chart up, the first thing I looked at was, well, what happened the last time we got to $80? You can see very clearly, got to 80, rejected it for a couple of days, and then ran away from that price. Now, it did wick through, just there's 80 there, so you can see the wicks above before abjectly rejecting, lower high at 76, and then started trending back into the downside. So you come in on Monday morning after kind of breaching that 76 briefly on Friday. Next level test up is going to be 80. Do you get a chance to short 80? No, doesn't happen. You're already back beneath, and at the open, you're actually in a channel 77.5 to about 76.50. So you're kind of in that pocket above that 76 level when it just flops to the downside. So didn't really have that short I was looking for. The pop off the open beneath that 80 level and then short the first pop into the 80. It never happened. We end up flushing, but I want to be net short. So the first thing I'm thinking about is, okay, as long as we're respecting that lower high, also want to look at the Friday high as well, just above 76. But that's the general area I want to be into that short position. So if once we get those lower consolidations, I work into a short. This ends up being beneath VWAP here, probably too far away at 75. End up scalping most of it out here down at 74. But then when it breaches this level, we wait for it to get back to 76. That was the next level on the daily chart. It tests higher, wicks to 77, then shorting just above that 76. That works out to that Friday high that we're talking about on the daily chart. It then plays off VWAP a couple of times, reload 76.5 out at VWAP, taking dollar scalps in each particular case. Then it finally starts to break VWAP, but 75 even is holding still. So we do get some more shares out there, anticipating we'd see the top end of the range. It never happens. It breaks all the way down into the low, where we take a couple another legs out there, still looking for the ultimate breach. If this does follow through, I did expect that we could at least see 70 to 72. That has yet to happen, so if the trend holds, I still think there's a nice downward trend. Maybe shorting into VWAP this afternoon would make some sense, but holding on to that last piece for a break of that 73 low. It was all about the fact that it had multiple days in a row to the upside. It failed a major level, then held another major level for resistance. So we're able to play that short on Coinbase despite all the strength that it had last couple of weeks. That is why it's your trade of the day. As always, check that QR code below. Get your trading journey started right.
Yeah, pretty impressive from not only Coin, but the rest of crypto stocks and crypto itself back to the upside in a big way, as we were mentioning. Over the weekend, 28,000 still holding as far as support is concerned right now. It has since broken, but was on that this morning. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab that every day. It's super easy. Watchlist.tradertv.live. Enter your email address. You'll get a prompt. Enter your email address. You can have that for free every single day. 3.3%. So yeah, we've given a bit back, but still a pretty good day here for BTC. 27,745, 750 coming into play right now. That's how Ethereum looks, kind of leaking off, but overall just kind of flagging out on the hourly chart. That's a daily chart for Bitcoin. What a move this thing has had since the beginning of March, at least. Going back to the end of last month even was pretty impressive. Let's talk a little bit about a few things here that we were discussing pre-market. It was all about the banks once again. We got that news over the weekend on Credit Suisse, UBS, forced to buy them, I guess, $32 billion worth of stock going to pick up Credit Suisse, along with $54 billion in debt. The government's going to pick up the rest, apparently, over in Switzerland. So a little more calm coming into play. I'm just watching this as well, guys. There's still volume alerts going off like crazy for DWAC and also Rumble as well, back downside. But just keep that aware. I guess ahead of what is supposedly to come tomorrow in New York with former President Trump. We'll keep DWAC on our mind. But FRC also comes out with this private placement announcement in an effort to try and shore up some more capital. JP Morgan then comes out later on or throughout the midday saying that they're working with FRC on exploring some strategic alternatives that could also include an equity raise. So a lot of things up in the air here as far as FRC is concerned, back to the downside right now. But overall, maybe, dare I say, some stability elsewhere in the banks today?
Yeah, look, no, you can say it. There was strength in a lot of the bank names this morning. And we saw, whether it's JPM or Credit Suisse made a move up. Just remember, and I'm in Credit Suisse, I'm about to talk about the dollar level. But if you're trading Credit Suisse, watch UBS. When you have a stock offer, they're going to follow each other, and that's what's generally been happening. But the dollar level was in play, and I like that dollar level when you get a chance to trade off of it. This morning, I missed a chance on the back end. It broke a buck, went to $1.10. Ooh, look, wick up to 175. There we go. So broke $1, but when it got back beneath it, like this is a floor at $1 at 10 a.m. It breaks, nice clean move to 95, retracement right to $1 on the nose and back into 90. So, what am I thinking when it gets back into $1? Okay, touches the dollar again. Well, if it's not going to break $1, then just short 99. Your risk is to like $1, like 101. And right into VWAP, it goes back into 95. I'm out half the position because that's halfway to 90. Very creative there. So if it does a flat bottom break now, I'm just looking for it to get down to 90. Always have to be watching what's going on in UBS, which is barcoding. So unless UBS does something crazy, I feel like this Credit Suisse trade off that $1 level looks like it'll be a solid one. It's already pretty good. I can't really turn it into a loser unless I don't get out where I'm supposed to when it breaks $1. But yeah, should have had this the first time it touched that dollar level. That was an easy one. Kind of swung and missed, trading some other things this morning. But if you only waited for Credit Suisse to get back beneath $1, that was a pretty easy short.
Yeah, I mean, we wrote down, what's up, everybody? We wrote down JP Morgan. So first of all, we're in a couple of good trades right here. We'll talk about Meta hopefully in a minute. Yeah, big tech up next. Okay, so JP Morgan is at a spot right here where I'm thinking you could probably buy this name, but I wonder about getting involved today just because of all the headline risk, right? So it's just that. Otherwise, you're at a great spot here of 126. I still think we'd probably want to buy this if it gets back down, but I'm even thinking about it right now. We've sort of bottomed out here at 126.44 right here. Still up on the day nicely with the ES up 0.7 right now. Okay, so I thought the banks might be leading the way, but they're not. So 0.6 versus 0.7 ES. Obviously, the NASDAQ just getting back to flat right now, but that's 126.44 right there at the bottom. I'm looking at it. I'm not in it. Would rather go long here, 126. But yeah, you're right. Banks have been pretty good today. Let's just double check here what Wells Fargo's doing. There's our 39 level there. Came into play again this morning. So we have to keep on looking at that 39 level for Wells Fargo. And then FRC, I had it up through, I just looked over and I changed it. Wow, 15, okay. That bottom, didn't it go to 11 there today?
11 change.
Yeah, there it is right there, 11.50. So yeah, this looks like it wants to break even lower as well. You got to pay for shorts on this one. Breaking through 15, so FRC, yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like it's a little bit of risk to trade any of these names, but again, a breakthrough here, 15 to the downside looks pretty safe for FRC, possibly getting back to 12 or 13. So I'd watch out for that name if you're looking there. But yeah, how good was Fahad? Thanks to Fahad for filling in there today for Trader Luke on vacation. So we're gonna have a few new cats coming through the next couple days, so that should be a lot of fun. But
just call him Mr. 4K.
Mr. 4K, yeah. I actually asked him how did he. Because he wanted to take 100,000 shares of Apple, but I got to figure out how he made that 4K exactly. But
how many shares?
100 shares, yeah. He took 1,000. Oh, he took something 40 cents? No, 1,000 shares. He didn't take. No, he didn't make $4 on anything.
No, he never moved $4.
Apple moved like that. That's what I'm wondering, because Apple I thought moved like 10 cents.
He took 10,000 shares.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's
all right, new position alert right here. We're going to start going short Amazon right now against 97. So let's see if that works right now. Amazon against this 97 level, starting a short here, Brendo.
All right, let's go on to, speaking of Apple, let's go on to big tech. Yeah, it was, I mean, we were talking about it on the side of a long in the sense that there was a lot of talk in the pre-market this morning going back to whether or not, yeah, there's Google, still about 0.5%. A lot of talk in the pre-market from analysts this morning on whether or not they'll actually do a quarter point on Wednesday, the Fed, or whether they will actually pause. We were at 65, 35-ish, depending on when you look at it, as far as the Fed funds tool is concerned. Obviously, tech going to move in accordance to that. If there's a pause, we'll be very positive for big tech, but it seems to be a bit of a wait-and-see day here. There is some relative weakness even in this group so far today.
Hold on a second. I'm going to go to Nvidia, but beat Fanatic. No, I am not short DWAC because, quite frankly, it went to $15 when I was standing in front of the big screen, as you guys may have noticed. But I'm just going to I tried to get rid of these wicks on Nvidia, so you'll have to bear with me. I'll try again a little bit later on. I liked Nvidia for that 255 long. When in doubt, zoom out. This is why I like 255. You kind of held support above this on Friday, and then you had that top. So above that price or beneath that price, I was looking for a little bit of a flush, but it tried to hold it initially. It was long, in and out pretty quickly. That lasted about like 20 seconds, let's say I was long at 55 or in front of it. And once it couldn't hold the level, I went to shorting it. And it was a decent scalp trade multiple times, shorting off to 54 and VWAP for a couple of scalp trades. Once it broke, got out of dodge, waited for it to retest the pre-market high. Shorted that at 258.5. Didn't really go anywhere for me. But then it got to 260, which, again, this will have to zoom way in here for you guys. There we go. Once it got to 260, first test took some 90s. Then it did the move that I love, which is kind of break and then flush, immediately sort of fail that level, jump in underneath. It's now down beneath 259, so working its way back into VWAP. Started out as a long, turned into a short. I guess I could have reversed into the long after that 255 level, but now off the 260, it looks like it is starting to come back in. So it was ugly early on for a lot of the dip buys on the long trade, but working the afternoon has given you some better levels to work off of. So I like Nvidia here this afternoon off the 260. I think it's probably going to be able to hold VWAP if it gets down there.
All right, so we took a little bit of profit there on Amazon because it went, we were short there 76, we got it out 65 there, but only 10%, we're gonna wait for it. But we are into Meta again here. It just came back into some levels. You know, this is sort of, where's Fahad when I need him? Look at Meta, Meta crashed down. So if you held that for like another half hour there, then you would have been Mr. 8K right there. But right now it's a nice move back up to the upside, well, to the downside for Meta. Trying to breach, so we're not going to be in this name for very long, as some names have been working, some have not. So breaking too much lower than where we are right now for Meta, and we won't be in this very long. The future's still not doing anything, man. Like that's part of the frustrating part about trading a day like today, when you're sort of sitting here trying to figure out, you know, which way to go on the NASDAQ, and then you look down at the NASDAQ and it's completely flat, and that's a bummer. So like you know, there's no point in throwing, you know, good money at bad money, or whatever that saying is again, over and over again. Like you're waiting for Fed to come through. We talked about the Fed rate tool again. Brendan sort of highlighted that over and over again. So right here, we are just, whoops, we're days away now. Hold on so I can bring this down here. As you can see, so right now, you know, 48 and 42 minutes, so 48 hours, 42 minutes away right now from getting another rate interest increase, it looks like. And we're at 72% for a quarter point. So that's what we're looking at right now. So I feel like sitting in here trying to let something happen for the NASDAQ, this is where we opened up. This is the opening. You can see where the volume is, right? So we opened up right here, and we are right here. So if we draw a line, we've gone up, down, and around. And right now, we sit here waiting for something to happen. So for me right now, we're talking about big tech. So, I mean, I'm in the Meta long, which is now working. Hopefully this can work for us. If Amazon doesn't work, that is completely fine. We have way more exposure right now to Meta than we do on Amazon. I'm actually going to cancel. So we're still in this Amazon trade, but I'm getting ready to get out of it, and I'm not taking any more. It's this Meta trade that's really starting to blow up. We got a great load price down there at 39, and we took a decent amount of shares because we were waiting for that. So now that Meta is starting to bump back to the upside, let's just play the Meta long. Meta is strong today. It's up 0.5 versus the market. It's only up nothing, as we just discussed it. Look at the Meta daily chart. The Meta on a 20-minute isn't fantastic, but do I still think we can break? I mean, I don't know if we get to 200. I mean, that's 197 right now. You're going to need to have a huge rally in the afternoon, but we could still do that. Let's hold out until Meta breaks us 196. We'll get out a little bit ahead of that, but right now it's working to the long side. It's Meta long, and we're making a little bit of our day back here.
All right, let's revisit Pinduoduo. Ends up being a bit of a nothing trade here. Big gap to the downside this morning if you missed it on this. Earnings missing, revenue was a mess, the forecast even below estimates as well. So we get this huge flush in the pre-market on that. And then right out of the gate, off the open, there was that short available, 2 new lows. But look what's happened. We're just in the range here, chopping around, not really doing anything. A magnet at 80 for PDD today when some of the other Chinese ADRs have been notably strong.
Yeah, look, you had to be short pretty much at the open. Like that's when that 80 short was the best. I was shorting off that level a little bit after that, and it was not nearly as good. You guys can see, it went 80 to 75. You had to have it the first time through, right at 8:30. Or sorry, right at 9:30 when the market opened up, and then it's actually turned into a bit of support at 79. If this was any other stock, if it wasn't a Chinese ADR, I'd probably think about, hey, just go long off 79. If it breaks, do a flat bottom break. But you need to see some volume start to come back into this name, which typically with these ADRs, it's not always going to be the case. So I feel like big tech's a better place to go here. It was great early on off those levels for some scalp trades, but I think this one's kind of come and gone, and we'll look to it tomorrow when I think we'll see some better opportunities or trading opportunities in a bit. I just want to go back to one thing because we don't have DWAC on the list.
Yeah.
So, but it is already pulling back. I was short into it at 14. It broke 14. I wanted the 15 short. I wasn't at the desk when it happened. It's now back to 14. Look, could I have held it 10% against me and then, yeah, look at me, it's coming all the way back? It's not the way to trade, so I would never do that. But I do want another crack at this. I feel like it's found a little bit of support at that 1350. It's not a random level on DWAC. If you go back to the daily here, it had a pretty big rollover, like 1350 to 1375. So this would be a decent sort of consolidation area if it were to hold above. I think it makes another run at 15 even, which also happens to be the 50 period on the daily. I think that's a shortable level if it gets up there again. If it breaks 1525, the next level's not till like 17 even. And look, you can talk fundamentals or reasons for it going up or not all you want, but at the end of the day, this is a short the pop situation for me every single time I see it happen until it holds some kind of a trend up, which every single time it's made a significant spike up, it's immediately reversed and trended back to the downside. So until it stops doing that, it's a short the pop each time.
All right, guys, we are like right now really banking out here on Meta. So this is just, I just punched out. So we got out of Amazon. Like Amazon started going, I was like, you know what, if it breaks 97, we're gone on this one. We only had a very, very small fill. Normally, I would be ramping up into this short now for Amazon. So if you guys are interested in a short for Amazon, you know, it's at some decent levels right now for a short. The only thing is like we are really printing now. Like we're green. Like we just went green on Meta there after really screwing up early on it right there. Remember how mad I was early that we had lost so much money on Meta? Well, we're green on Meta right now. So if that's going to tell you something about what the kind of damage that we've been doing right here. Look at this. We just bought that right there. So I'm going to have to talk to Fahad about this. But this is how you trade. Right down there, right into the line. And now you're busting out for Amazon or Meta. We're right here right now. 190. Bang right there. So that's the trade right now. Unlike my guy over there, this is real money right now. And there goes Meta. Nice little upside move, man, as we're going. So that's a... Thank you, Meta, man. This is like a day saver because if this went the other way for me on Meta, then yeah, we would be a not happy, joy. Shout out to Mr. Ren and Stimpy there. But yeah, right now we're getting ready to get this high again. We are now out of about a 2/3 of this trade, but still holding, baby. So let's see if Meta wants to explode to the high side right now. I'm off of everything. This Microsoft short is real small, but the problem is this is what Microsoft's doing. Nothing right now. So we'll see where it wants to go from here. But right now, we're going to hold on to Microsoft and just fly, Meta, fly. If you're an Eagles fan right here, Jalen Hurts is Meta. Let's see if it can fly to the high side right now. Although they lost Miles Sanders, I don't think that'll be a big deal. Kenneth Gainwell to the rescue.
I got a Philly story for later.
Yeah, okay. Nice move upside, 197.50 right here, ripping for Meta. So let's wait to see where we go on that one. Yes, this is a day saver, man. Right back to day's high on Meta, up now 1%. So this is pretty good here. We are long, we're $1 in the money right now on Meta. So that's a good trade right there.
All right, let's touch on crypto here a little bit to get to the end of this list. Mara wanted to mention was right at, here we go, day lows right now, guys. Some volume coming back into MARA. Bring up Riot, looks very similar, 6.5% here for MARA. So coin was definitely the relatively strong one in the morning, but here's Bitcoin currently chopping around within its range, but did set that new high back above 28,000, a recent high anyways, early on this morning. What a move, though, over the past couple of weeks here for BTC once again.
Yeah, it's super strong in Bitcoin. Yeah, super strong in Bitcoin there. Like, I still think what Coinbase sort of did today is a weak one. There's just no question about it. Like, for it to turn red after the run that it just had the recent weeks and then sort of rejecting Friday's high, getting back beneath this. The market's back up toward the high of the day, like the NASDAQ and the ES are both kind of cruising right at the day's high, and you're still in the downward trend on Coinbase. So I think all of that is sort of momentum-wise working against it. As long as it's above 73, what I didn't show you guys in that trade of the day is the current 73 bottom. This was also a pretty big sort of pivot area, afternoon support on Friday. If this cracks 73 this afternoon, I think it can be flush city. I don't know that it's worth a reload till it gets tighter to 77 even. So whether or not this is a trade in the afternoon, I think it's not automatic. I just want to pump from there for a quick second because the market started bouncing a bit while I'm in Nvidia. And not quite to that 260 level. So I'm still looking for the retrace back down to 257.5. I think it's a long off VWAP if it gets there. If I get a chance to reload at 260, that's the only price I want. Don't want to diddle in the middle here. It's in the money, so it can't turn into a loser now because I've already scalped out. But remember, this is still trending to the upside. If this clears the high of the day on Nvidia, don't forget what the daily chart looks like on Nvidia. Right? Like if we're through that 260 level, all that is standing in the way is the high from Friday, which is about 264. So there's some room above that 260 were it to break it and hold above. Hasn't happened yet, so the short's still valid for me.
71.34. Let's check out. I mean, the only name that I brought up to you guys earlier was HUD 8. This morning, not doing anything right now. HUD 8 just barcoding right here. I don't know. For me, crypto is like you can look at names like Mara and things like that. I'm just going to wait for the day when Coinbase absolutely gets destroyed, and we'll wait to see when that happens. But look at Mara today, down 6.5%. You were just looking at Coinbase. Why is Mara down 6% and Coinbase flat? Okay. All right. SI, another one here. Silvergate to look $1.66.
Oh goodness, for the $2 short this morning.
We talked about that this morning.
You had to pay for locates.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't care about paying for shorts for this, but there it is. Yeah, breaking that. I mean, anytime. So many missed opportunities. Sometimes when I focus, I mean, I pretty much only will focus on the big cap names unless there really is like some real big headline risk. Oh but honestly, SI, that's disgraceful. Like we should have been short SI earlier today, man. We have all the capabilities of the world to be short any name we want, pretty much. So that's disappointing, unless they're just not available. But I would think that they probably are available right now. All right, that sucks. Just a quick update, 271.50 we're getting out of Microsoft if it breaks that. Otherwise, we're going to hold on to the short here coming through, 271.50 right there for Microsoft. That's going to be our out as we hold that short, and we still hold. We got out another piece right there. I mean, it's like we're planting red flowers today, some nice red roses, 174. Hopefully not. 197.39 right there, our last out, which is right where we're at now. So you can take that if you wanted to. But I'm going to try to hold Meta for the break. Meta, the reason why I think we can break higher, we're just right now just struggling to get at these same tops that we've already been at right there. So like we just need to get the market going, and then I really do think that we see 199. Honestly, you know what is stopping this from making that move up? We made this move in 5 minutes, down $5. Or I guess it's $3.50, I guess. That's $199.40 down to $196.30. So $3 straight down. Then another extension. This is the $5, $6 to the downside. So yeah, you know, if the market gets a little spicy right now, maybe we can retrace back up to the upside. But let's not be foolish. Any sort of a drop down on these names, we're going to be able to cover them as well. So let's get our stop out for Microsoft. Meta we're in as well. And then we can talk about the BBBBBBBY reverse split.
Yeah, ended up being a bit of a chop fest as well. If you missed it this morning, we came into that news that they're going to consider either 1 for 5 or 1 for 10 on a reverse split to get back above $1, obviously. $1 up here now after the gap to the downside this morning. But yeah, it wasn't much to do. If you faded the pop, I guess you just sit in it all day because obviously it's Bed Bath & Beyond, so a ton of liquidity, guys, but not much movement here.
Oh, I'm more upset about this than I am about SI, because at least with SI, I can claim that I didn't really take a good look at it this morning and didn't try. Didn't pay for locates on Silvergate, didn't really take a long look at it to try to go short, whereas Bed Bath & Beyond was a different story. Like it gapped beneath the dollar, wanted to short into that dollar level, it popped up, got to 96, and then just fell for the rest of the day. So, you know, that's sometimes you swing and miss, sometimes you don't. You get up there, you take 4 pitches or take 3 pitches and strike out or whatever you want to call it. I just sat there, didn't take a swing on Bed Bath & Beyond. It sucks, but that's where we're at. I don't think there's a trade this afternoon unless something crazy happens. If it makes a 10% pop up to VWAP, maybe. I wouldn't go long hunting on this. Reverse splits happening, not for good reasons, obviously for bad reasons. And we'll see if they get the vote. Maybe it'll be a trade tomorrow and we short the pops again, but this one is already come and gone. So we're just going to have to move away from that. DWAC's starting to head up again. Where is it? I'm going to zoom in for you guys. It's above VWAP. I'd like it to get closer to 15, but worth noting, it kind of consolidated around 14.5 here. I wouldn't be shocked if it got up here, maybe dropped a little bit of a failure there. I just don't believe in the long in this. So I'm going to take multiple shots at this shorting probably in the next couple of days as long as it wants to hold up. I'm not a big believer in DWAC holding up until it proves that it can for more than 1 day or more than like 25 minutes on a big volume spike. Usually you get the big fades. It's possible it's already done the big one for today at 15. We'll give it a chance to try and go there again. And why is DWAC up? I mean, you guys see the news. We're not here to get political or anything, but you know, quite frankly, if Trump's in the news, then DWAC is going to move. That's just what it is, and that's why it moves like this. And it's a good question, because I know you're still in Microsoft. Someone had asked, why is Microsoft so flat in the chat? And I don't have an obvious explanation for why these wicks, ignore these wicks, why it's doing this barcode. What would make sense to me is it's run out of sellers. Like it's relatively weak, so there's not a lot of buyers. You know it's weak, it's down 3% into a strong market, but it's kind of running out of sellers and holding 270. So it's just found a weird equilibrium at this point on Microsoft. It doesn't make a ton of rational sense why you'd be this sideways into a market that wants to move, but if this market rolls over, I mean, 270 is right here for Microsoft. Like that would be, it's not a flat bottom break, but it's a double bottom, and the longer it holds its support, the better that looks. If it does want to make a move up, I think that's going to be fadeable. But everyone's looking at the same chart on Microsoft, and specifically why it doesn't want to move, I can't tell you.
We got out of 20% of what we had left for Meta there when it broke down a little bit lower here. Yeah, look, Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, whenever I think about Bed Bath & Beyond, you know, we're going to go over to a stock like AMC or GME, and there was news in this AMC last week, of course, with the shares in Ape and all that sort of, you know, turning them over one over to the other. All right, so today, nothing. That's for 3 minutes right now on AMC. For a 1 minute chart here on AMC again. I mean, I still like that $4 level here. So let's check it daily. Yeah, so we've been there. It is. I mean, that level there is 380. We held it back in January. We've been holding it right now. So I still like a $4 long here at some point on
what was
AMC. That? But yeah, the market's falling down right now. So, you know, Meta's coming back in a little bit here. Yeah, we're done with the rundown now. All right, so let's just double check Meta here as we come back into some of these levels. Do we still want this long? So again, good out rate. I mean, look, when something's up, man, you got to get some out. So we did take another out right there on Meta. Now we'll wait to see what's up now with it, but it is starting to fall back down. And we've made it back. Remember we told you we're now positive on Meta, which to me, you know, we were down a lot on that name, and we've now added to our problems with Google and other names like that. But we were getting washed on Meta early, and we just told you that we are positive. And again, if you want to ask me about positive or negative on a symbol, I have no problem with that. Like, you know, if you guys want to know about that, we'll continue to support you for those reasons. But 196.40, I mean, I'm still looking at this level right there for Meta to try the long. I like it. It's still up on the day. And if we're going to sort of range-bound trade right now, maybe we are coming into a dip buy opportunity for the market. So let's try that on Meta. We've got a good level there, 196.50. It's come in right here. So I think that's worth it right now on Meta. So let's just put a bid there. I'm going to put a bid around 60s, just, you know, take a little bit there if it comes into 60s, and then I really want to watch out for this. Like a drop too much below, man, like into the 196.20s or so, right where we've sort of held before, like anything breaking down here, even a break of VWAP, which is 35, that little bottom wick right there is 25. I think that's the reasonable area for Meta. So we'll continue to go long on that one. But look what's working for us right now. Microsoft finally starting to go down. We just went to 270.65. Well, is that for real? Because if it was there, then we should have taken, that's another $1 in the money. So we just took 75 cents on Meta. We were in the money at $1.30. We took some, and now we're about $1 in the money on Microsoft as well for a short. So let's see if that can eventually print once again down here at 270.50. But the market's just doing a dance. So, I mean, see, like Meta, like we could have got long there, but why would you get long in the middle? Let's just continue to wait for 60s there on Meta. And if there's anything else you guys want us to look at, like DWAC's only up 13%. It's not like it's moving, but it's halted, right?
FRC halted,
FRC
not DWAC.
halted.
So a couple of things. I did just grab Tesla in here. Oh, it's not showing up. That's a little weird. I'm long Tesla off 183. 183.11's not really sure. You guys, there you go. There's my little arrow. But that was a kind of a big move, rejecting just now on the futures and making a big move down. A lot of things spiked down in that moment. I got long in this, and then Nvidia went back over $1 in the money all very quickly. So if this holds VWAP, great. If it doesn't, I want to get out of Dodge. I did want to jump over while it's still halted. It'll be open in a matter of seconds here on FRC. Indicated open price is flat, so 14.06 it halted at. It's indicating a 14.06 open, but it broke that 15. I know I was trying to short this level earlier in the day, stopped out, then scalped it, then stopped out, actually had a long trade. If it doesn't, yeah, this is now, it might just go into like successive down halts. So it halted at 1406. I like the halt levels to be able to play off this one. And the 15 breaks where it's at. If I get a chance off 15, fair, but I might take a shot off that 1406 level just to jump into FRC. It's a relatively tight stop, probably only give it to like 14 and a quarter off that area. But I just, once it's beneath 15, I want to be in the short. I think back down to like, the low is 1150. I don't think it's crazy if we were to get back down there. So I'm short now, but probably only giving this one to the quarter. And then it's all about that 15 level. As far as I'm concerned, that was the better level. Should have been in it, wasn't following it. I made that patented mistake of I switched my level 2 to DWAC and then stopped looking at FRC and missed that 15 break on FRC there. Let's see if it wants to hold this area. But I'm in this one now. I'll give it another shot if it gets to 15.
All right, shout out to JK. What's up, JK, right there? Yeah, mad love to the crew here at Trader TV and all the traders, man. Big ups to everybody. Get down with the banks, up with the people and individual investors. And whenever I see something like that, I got to go over here and hit this because that's sort of the symbol of the individual investor apes, but I'm not trying to say go over and trade some ape kind of names. But yeah, I agree, man. I mean, we'll wait to see. These banks really did it to themselves, and I just feel bad for people that had, some equity in SVIB or SIVB or FRC, and Neil's been looking at that. We talked about that break right there as well of that $15 level, and yeah, that's the break right there. So if you had that short, you definitely just cashed in down there to 1380. But watch out here, liquidity is actually really good on this name, 130 million shares. So you don't have to be afraid to use more shares on this. You just got to watch your prices, because if you want shares, they're here. It's just a matter of watching out for some of the liquidity and how it can dry up fast on the different price levels. Like if you want 1420, just make sure you put in 1430. That's all, so that when it hits 20, you run it back up and make sure you get some fills. And remember, you always get the half fill on that. All right, the best fill that comes in. There was questions about AMD. AMD, I'm red on that name today as well. But again, that's just off the morning, a little bit of up and down. That's probably a long. See right here, it's a long, and then missed right there. So we averaged in and then dropped it out. So this one we're not that red on because we're able to make a little bit of money, but this is where we started to buy in the first place. So, wow, don't call it a comeback, but you should in this case, because this is a great comeback for AMD today, down to 93, right back to 96. Like a $3 move, that's 4%. Like $3 on 92 is up 3.5% from the bottom right there for AMD. So it is a huge move up. And you're getting near a spot right now, 96, that I really liked for longs, but once they failed, then it was see you later. So the market right now is failing back down. We are obviously long Meta, waiting to get longer. I'm wondering if this is a fade here on AMD. The only problem is, if I'm getting longer Meta, do I really want to go short AMD and long Meta? That's not a recipe for success. So, yeah, I really like AMD here, man. Nvidia's another one coming through.
It's pulling back, though.
Yeah. Oh, is it pulling back? Because Nvidia went positive as well today, or not as well, but did go positive. Look at that. Again, off of a nasty open there, all the way down to 252. It made back $8 and got right back into these levels of the close on Friday of 261-ish. So, yeah, now Nvidia looking like, does it want to roll over here quickly?
I hope so.
Oh, you took the short? Yeah, I mean, it's rated at a level. It's got to break 258.50, but when it does that, should go to the downside. So, yeah, if I wasn't long, I mean, I do like this AMD trade. Don't get me wrong. It's just right now I've sort of rested with Meta. Wow, what did that just do, Meta? 197.30? All right, I'm going to put another offer up there. If we can get that fill, we'll take it, and then we'll work on that after. But that was a nice move upside there for Meta. I don't know where that came from, but all right, that's that. Microsoft now. Here we go. Now we're $1 in the money on this Microsoft trade. So there it is, man. The short that just keeps on printing right now, finally going to the downside. So we did short Microsoft off 272. Now you're printing down a little bit lower. So that's $1 in the money on Microsoft, 70 cents in the money on Meta, and both opposite ways. So that's making me a bit nervous.
Yeah, so I do have that. Oh, Tesla's showing up now, but your positions aren't on there. So I don't know. Anyways, it corrected my Tesla, so I did take some out here, 183.5, just sort of halfway into the range that it had up here, guys. In a quick second, there you go, bouncing off VWAP. If it doesn't hold VWAP, look, the market, we're at a resistance point, man. Like, if the longs are going to work, you want us breaking 12.7 on the NASDAQ. You want the ES kind of breaking that top as well. And as long as you get up there as a day trader, I think looking for some fades is going to make some sense. But Tesla's relatively strong, so holding VWAP will scalp it if it wants to get multiple trades off that level. Fair enough. I'm looking at these shorts and saying, why not? You know, it's just everything is kind of lined up. Credit Suisse might not work for a reload because it's only doing this. But here, it's either get more in front of $1, break VWAP, and get down to 90. And I should actually have bids down there because I can say all I want that if it gets to 90, I want to be getting out. But I got to have something down there just in case it wants to make a flush. Not much to see there. NVIDIA, it just keeps on finding bids. Again, it goes down to 258, wicks this bottom, and is holding the line. So I don't need a 257 half bid. It is either holding right here, getting back above 258.50, or probably coming a little bit closer into VWAP. So there's no need to make a decision until it decides for me. If it breaks a fresh low here, I think it's heading to 57 or VWAP, a little bit tighter than that. Or if we get back above 258.5, and this trade is only worth $1.50 because I'm counter trend. As Sean said, NVIDIA went red to green today. That's a pretty bullish look. And I like to short off 260, but sometimes you have to acknowledge that it doesn't want to fall through as much as possible. Right now it looks good, but that doesn't always have to hold up. So I want to have a plan in place. Just going to move a trailing stop in here on NVIDIA to make sure we lock in some profit. FRC, someone just said hang in there with it. The thing about, so like when you're a prop trader, look, we don't have to make one trade on a stock and it's like, that's it, I'm married to it. Like under PDT, let's just say you can only make one trade. Look, if this breaks this little range it has since the reopen off the halt, then I'll get out. I'll stop out. And if I like to short again at 15, where it made more sense, probably, should have had that the first time, then I'll just go short again at that price. We don't have to sit there and hold on to that one trade. I can get out for a reasonable hit. I can try to get back in at a better price or at another level. So if it does break this consolidation, I'm out. You can kind of see this is not where my stop is. That's just how aggressive I am with my order all the way up to 15. And I have bids all the way down into that low of the day. So short FRC here. I am short Intel, but it kind of went over under this 29. And I just kind of waited for it to get to VWAP, took one fill over, really not that many, and wanted to get back to 29 and further down, and then I'll start getting out of that short. It's down 2.5%. So if you show me relative weakness on Intel, when it pops and the market doesn't break out, I'm generally going to short in and around VWAP. So that's all I have there in Intel. We'll see what happens with that. But right now, NVIDIA is trying to make that $2.
Yeah, we're cashing out as well, cashing in, I guess, a little bit here on AMD. We went short 96.03, or what do we have, 96.02, and then just got a fill there at 85, and now we're going to see about a fill down here into the 70s, like right where this 50 period is. If we can get that, then that should be good, and then we'll just wait to see what the rest happens with there. And as that was happening, we also took a fill on Meta right there as well. Just trying to figure this whole game out, right? Like which way do we want to go, why, and make sure that we're finding relative strength and weakness in this game, because we made back a decent amount of money here today, and we're not about to give any of that back either. Well, we'll give some of it back, I guess. 197.50 is going to be another area there for me on Meta. If we can climb up to that, we'll be pretty happy right there watching that. I hope I'm not feeling too ill because I'm starting to feel warm right now here today, as I foolishly sat in Sharif's chair. So that could be a problem. But we're feeling good right now. There's AMD right back up. So just in case this does get carried away, we already took a piece out right there. This is not a big position. I am waiting for a little bit more at 13s, which is that high. The high is 18s. We'll give this up a little bit more if it does come up. So we are going to try another short here on AMD right around here. I mean, why am I even waiting? Let's just put a piece on right now into the, there we go. I just punched in. There we go. Okay, we got some 9s, I guess, there. What did we get? Yeah, 9s. Okay, good. So now here we go. Now it's starting to rip to the upside. So we canceled our big trade. We do not have a lot of shares right now on this trade. So we're going to give this a little bit of break time right now and see if it wants to work, because it's really Meta that's cruising right now. So hopefully we can get our fill at 50 again, let this rip to the upside. Hey, if we don't get it, we don't get it. That's fine. This is now 80 cents in the money. Microsoft's still that $1 in the money. Wow, Microsoft Man, oh man, like I've ignored this every damn time this has happened. All right, we need to put a bid down here for Microsoft because the next time this happens, if I miss it, like I thought I had a bid and I didn't this time. So 270.30, let's just put it down there. It keeps on bouncing off 270 right there for Microsoft and it just went to 26 again. So, you know, if the market falls down, we'll have AMD on board, all good, and we'll be stopped out of meta, but that'll be fine. So for right now, yeah, that Microsoft move on the downside, we have to capitalize on that. So if that happens again, we have to get out. And I'm going to take this out right now at 25, hopefully. There it is right there. So we'll go bang on that one to make that 90 cents, there's 80 cents, sorry, on meta. And we take a piece out as it's just hovering right now. Every time it bumps up, we should take a piece out. So let's do that. We are very close, man. We're waiting at 60. That came to 68. We were waiting at 60s to get more long. So maybe it does fall back down in and we're able to get that. And we are waiting to see what happens right now with AMD. Our average price is 06. We're short right now. We can take another fill, though, to see if we can get a little bit of a better price. Not a better price. We know where our out is. So that's the important thing here for AMD. Our out is up here at 25. So if that breaks 25, then we can get out of AMD as it did turn back green, but it still is turning around a little bit there. All right, what else just happened there? We got the AMD fill. Our average price is 07.
I actually just got wicked out, not wicked out, but trailed out of Nvidia. That's fine. That's the level I did want to get out. It is relatively strong, but just keep in mind, the market got back close toward the highs. I see Intel went back to the high, AMD kind of went back to that high, and lower highs in Nvidia. So some of that relative strength seems like it could be waning a little bit here as it trends down. I'm still going to short the next available pop into 260, but with Intel possibly testing and breaking the high right here, just want to have some of the eggs off the basket in that overall chip space. FRC still in the bucket, but DWAC, yeah, of course DWAC flush. Didn't even want to get to 1450. Stalled at 14 and a quarter. Already making another move down. This is whatever pops it has left in it, just short those. So, forget about 1450. I'll probably just have to look at like 1380 to 14 even. But the next pop to the upside, I'm just going to get into the short. I usually expect almost a full retracement on DWAC, which in this case would mean like 1250 to 13. Somewhere in that range, I could easily see it going. Coinbase is making a move. So here comes Coin back into that set. Well, not there yet, but close to that 76 level. I did scalp the last out at that 73, holding on to the last 10% of the position and looking for a re-entry point where we had it in the morning. So money fills above 76 into that 76 half area is what I'm looking for on Coinbase if we get them. And Tesla is holding up at VWAP. So the only long I've got on right now is Tesla off VWAP. Just started to really get going when it broke 84. I'm like, okay, if it starts trending up from here, Tesla's got room to 186. Yes, was short earlier at 186. It took 3 tries. I was actually technically this is 4 because I was short twice in here, but both of those were pretty solid, the second, the third, and the fourth times. If it goes to 186, I'll probably short it again. For now, long off VWAP.
All right, we need to find something else that's moving. What do you guys want to look at? DWAC?
Someone said...
people are talking about DWAC again. I know Rumble's moving a little bit as well, but see, I mean...
Something else.
Again, like to sit here and trade this. I mean, look, if you're going to trade DWAC, you have right here 1350. I mean, that bottom, we can zoom in a little bit so we can all see it's a little bit better. Right there, 1350. I mean, I'm just using this to see what the 200 period is all the way down here at 1250. So not sure about that one, but, 1350, you're bouncing off there, so that could be a trade. What just happened? Oh, AMD went up. Okay. There goes AMD. So, yeah, again, so, we traded this name again right there. We took a very, very small piece. Oh, yeah, now I still have the short because we did put a bid out right there. Hopefully we'll get that fill. We had one extra fill there we go, that we didn't take into consideration. So our average price was 7. We just got out there on the 20 break. So, yeah, that sucks. About a 15-cent hit there on AMD, but this one is no problem. We sort of felt like something was a little bit up right there with that move. But now that this is happening, this AMD, I mean, whether or not this is busting out or not right here, I feel like this is a long right now, man. Like, I mean, why not? This is a nice base right there, and then you have these bottoms right there at 95.80. I feel like we can go long against some of that right there. What do you think, Randy? Yeah. Tesla? Yeah. Rivian? Tesla. Ford? Tesla, yeah. Randy always wants to go long Tesla. You're long Tesla, though, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm long off VWAP. He's like, Randy's always talking about Tesla long term. Like, I don't think when he comes on and talks about the autos or talking about the EVs, he's giving a long term perspective. I'm just looking at the long off VWAP, if anything. I just got DWAC short, by the way. So it got up to 1380. kind of gave the fills just in front of that 1380 level. I just think as long as it's beneath VWAP, or actually at 1425, I want to be looking for the continuation short here. It's up 10%. And we don't really need to talk too much more about it unless it makes a move breaking 1425. I could see it back at that low of the day. Tesla's weird, man.
Strong.
Like, yeah, Tesla's not really giving any more fills down around VWAP. It's strong. It's heading back up. So it's the only long I got, and I want something else. Like, what is strong that I can be looking at right now? Because I just kind of feel like this broke its trend to the downside. Higher lows being put in, so it's showing me some signs of strength here. And if anything, why am I thinking about reversing in Intel, and why is that crack-headed? No, it's not there yet. Intel would probably need to get back above 2930, and then I'd think about reversing into a long in that one. That'd be more interesting for me. I'll get out of it if it goes a couple of cents higher here because I don't want to hold it all the way to 30, but I don't know if I want to chase that long. 29 even might be a good one, but there's got to be something else that is a little bit stronger. N-phase, as you guys talking about, Apple's been a strong one. Where's Apple at? Load, PC load letter. Apple's not moving that much, but it is strong. It's a good upward trend here. Where are we at in the higher time frame? I always want to make sure I go from the 3-minute. Don't always want to be only trading off that. Oh, this is good off 157. Yeah, 157, that's a good price on Apple. If it's anywhere down there, I think you scalped along. Probably has to break out the top for me to want to get anything above here. That's the market trying to get to the high as well. And that probably means, which one came out? That was Intel. I'm not reversing on Intel just yet, but I like this 57 on any market dump. I want to get 57s on Apple.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to try the long break here on Apple to the high of the day, up 1.7% right now and trying to go. I'm pissed off at myself for AMD. Should have been long on that name and we went short instead. But you know what? I mean, sometimes it's all good because we did hold on to our meta, which is right now at this top. So let's just do as we do and wait and get that top out hopefully right now for that on meta. We're at 55s right here. Hopefully it can, don't turn around. Hopefully we can get them out. I'll just take them out right here if we can get, there we go, we got 50s. So there we go, now we're out a little bit there on the top. What a great trade this was for meta, really bringing my day back under control a little bit there, but nice little move for meta back up. We are almost out, we are almost flat on meta, so that's a trade there. Just let everybody know, we're almost out. We're we have like less than 10% left on that trade. Apple just turns off a dime right there. I was thinking about that long, right? But now it's come back in a little bit. I'm actually going to cancel that long right now. I'm really upset about AMD. We are waiting back near 20s for AMD to try to get that long just in case. But again, the market is right now just trying to go back to where we've already been, man. We've already been here in the pre-market. We are here at about 11:30, and now we're trying to come back. We are well above the 50 period right now and trying to go on NASDAQ. So, back to Greensville right now. Good. I was just checking to make sure that Franklin the Bull is out right now, and he is. So
Franklin.
Wasn't that what it was, or was it, what was the first name? Oh, Prad dropped one. Jeffrey,
yeah.
It was Jeffrey, sorry.
Remember, yeah.
Not Franklin. What was I thinking on that?
Why did you think Franklin? That's a little random.
Jeffrey, Franklin, like English names. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that. But I don't know. Francois? No, that would be French.
No, we don't do French.
There, proudly. Okay, so
Even though we're Canadian, it's like.
Here we come back in for Apple. So yeah, I want to take the Apple long, man, especially if we get into 157. So again, I'm negative on Apple right now, but if we can take this long, 157, 157.20, 157.30, if it can pull back into this area, and then we don't have to worry too much because our out's going to be somewhere around here, 156.90 or so if it does drop back through. So yeah, 157.20 or so will be a good long for us. Also AMD trying to pick that up, and we are now out. No, sorry. Our out on Meta was pretty good. We're not out of it yet. We're waiting for some more. And Microsoft still downside here. If anything, Microsoft's probably the truest short of them all, but we already are short. So I don't know, man. We just bumped up to the 200 period again. Like, why do I want to go long Apple but short Microsoft so badly? So yeah, Microsoft's down 3% there today.
Well, I mean, Microsoft is so weak. That's all it is. So look, FRC finally started to break this channel to the downside, so I started taking some out here. Don't want to look gift horses in the mouth. Not when this is going sideways, it can squeeze on you. But once it started to break the channel down, I got a couple of legs out. I'm not going to reload this. It needs to show me trend before I want to get some more. I did get into DWAC. Didn't really get any money fills up to 14. Like it got to 1380, and that was pretty much it. Went right back into 1350, got some out. I'll short the next available pop in DWAC. Probably wait for it to go up before I just throw something out there. Let's see what does happen. The second I get out of Intel, it's like, I get out of Intel. Now it wants to kind of pop 5-10 cents and then start reversing back in. this might be worthy of a reload. However, Nvidia just did this on me. Like I was waiting in front of 260, it goes to 259.80, and then immediately pulling back. So I think the level on Nvidia for resistance is better. Intel's kind of in the middle of nowhere. If I get a reload, it should be Nvidia off this 260 area here. It looks like that's going to be a pretty solid one. And I've seen a lot. Dimitri, Questrade, and IBKR have no FRC available to short. All I can tell you is that we have the ability to short it. So obviously it's available for some brokers. We had to pay for locates here. It was not free. It was really cheap this morning. I want to say it was like 1 cent a share or something.
It's less.
Yeah, you're right. It was less than 1 cent per share, but it's available for us. I understand it's not available for everybody. There's nothing, every broker is going to be different. So all we can tell you is what we have, what we can do. Credit Suisse, while I'm talking about these squeeze type names, bouncing off 95 here. So now back up to 97. I was waiting for 90s, but if it's holding VWAP, I'm going to cover some at VWAP if it gets down there again. So if another move comes back in, I'll respect the fact that this short off $1 doesn't want to go any more than 95. And if it gets back into 95, I'll take another leg out there. I did cover half of it the first time it went down. I'll probably cover another 20% if it gets to VWAP again. Just respecting the kind of strength it's showing. FRC, where's my next bid? Come on, get down. You were the next contestant on The Price is Wrong. Oh, the price is always right in trading, by the way. Like where the stock wants to trade is where it's going to be. But the price is wrong for anyone that was long this in the morning, which included me off the up halt. That was me. Halt up. Let's go long. And then broke the halt price down. Got away from it. Should have shorted this when it took out 17 even. We weren't here. It's frustrating because we weren't here at our desk when 17 even got broken, and then you can see what happened. Now the next trade to me is whether it flushes back into that low of the day. I got bids in front of 13, so 13, 12.50, and then low of the day is where I'm looking to get this bad boy out.
All righty then. All right, Justin, FRC headed to 0. Yep, maybe. AMD long. Yep. Just ready for that as well as we're waiting to get in. So we can talk about some trades that I have pending right now. So yeah, I have Apple pending long down here at 157.35. It got to 41s. I'm like, there's 35 right here. So just trying to buy some there against 157. When these come in, I'll talk more about where my outs are. But anyways, 157.30. If that comes in, we're going to get out at 150. Actually, I already have the stops in, so we could probably talk about that. I just got to refresh them. And then AMD as well, the same thing. Ooh, that's coming pretty close to getting in as well. We want to get in right around here, 20s. So if that can come into 20s, we're going to try to buy. And now I just want to go long, to be honest with you. And I know that we said we would try to play these up and down moves. Well, we did. We got out of meta when the name spiked, right? So that's all good. Since we've sort of changed our strategies here in the afternoon, waiting for like severe moves, the only thing we screwed up for was that initial short there on AMD right there. But we didn't. We got out and then we took, what was it, a 15-cent hit there? So it wasn't that much. But we did just miss that reload. We tried to get 21s. That's where my bid is. You know where it went down to? 23s. So yeah, missed AMD long. Looks like we're going to miss Apple long as well. So maybe there's more that we want to talk about right now. Microsoft is starting to go back up. So just for everybody's reference, I thought I was getting out 270. Ooh, it's a lot higher than this where I'm getting out. All the way up here, this break right there, 271.50. But again, you're right back at a spot where it can probably be shorted again for Microsoft. We've come up here a bunch of times up to that 200 period and sort of just dropped off of that numerous times. So let's just try, because we don't have many shares on Microsoft, let's just add a little bit right now. We'll punch some 90s. So we just punched some 90s short there. We don't have the power of Fahad. Like, I just can't punch short, the stock instantly goes down $1. But we're going to see if that can happen.
Well, if you do 100,000 shares.
Yeah. So maybe if I did that, but I only did 50,000 shares there. So hopefully it'll go to the downside.
400.
And of course we didn't do that at all, but we'll wait. I mean, if we take out this level right there, 271.15 or so, then we're gone. We give it a little bit more than that, but 271.25, something like that up there, we're going to be gone. I'm going to put on a bigger trade once we break through 271, which it's doing right now.
I feel like Fahad, like you gave him buying power, it's just like he's going to max it if that were the case. Like it's just, if you guys watching the midday show,
lots of buying power.
If you guys watching midday show, first of all, shout out to Fahad for filling in. It's not an easy thing to do, stepping in for the entirety and doing a fantastic job of it. But you do move the market if you put orders in there. Almost everybody forgets the first time that they fat fingered and put an extra 0 to.
Fahad.
The first time I did it, I remember I'm like, oh, I'm going to get on the offer of this stock. And then I threw the order out there. And then I'm like, oh shoot, look at this whale that's shorting the same price. I just put my order in and now they're on top of me. This is gonna be an awesome short. And then I realized I had put too many zeros and I was the person that was offering. And it's like, at that moment, if you pull the order, it's like, crap, it's gonna go up, but you don't have a choice. It started filling me. You just have to understand, like when you actually move size, it does move the market there, Fahad, but you did a fantastic job. One more thing to get to, because I said I wanted to look for some things that were moving, and there was another name that got mentioned several times in the chat. So I don't mind going over it. It's not a huge move, but it was brought up, and this is what I was talking about was 10x. It's a penny stock. I really don't mind looking at and trading some of these. Why is my daily not loading? That's kind of annoying. But 10x, look, I think this is one that is probably, look, a fade at 60 cents makes a lot of sense. It's already touched that level. It might be done in terms of volume, in terms of this move. So it's already a small move volume-wise. Were it up at that 80 cents, that's kind of like a home run short. I'd like to see volume in for a 60 break. It is a solid level, but there needs to be more volume carrying this one to the upside. Only 5 million shares for a penny stock is not a lot, and it's already rejected that big level at 60. If it gets through it, it's got a chance, but I need to see volume bigger than when it got there the first time. It needs to cross that 10 million mark as far as I'm concerned. 10% is not bad. But here, this one's not really moving that much. Brendo?
Just seeing this note on Twitch. Amazon obviously owns Twitch. We learned earlier today, 9,000 layoffs coming through for Amazon. So possibly, I'm still looking to confirm this, but possibly 400 of those coming from Twitch.
All right, well, a lot of new positions right now. AMD just fell down. We got 21s long, like we said we would, and there's a couple outs right here, starting at 33s all the way up to 37, and we are out of. We're only out of a quarter right now. Let's see if it continues to climb up a little bit here. As the market's trying to break, that's okay. I mean, this is the long we wanted. We are waiting for a little bit longer. So let's get some out here as we go. And if we can make our way all the way back to the top, it's all good, baby, on that one. We also got Apple long. Come on, man. Honestly, you don't want to break too much higher. I was trying to get just a dime on this one. We keep going up to 45 and stopping. So, I'll take a 42. And then we'll wait for a 45 to come through after that. And then we'll let this thing climb. Oh, give me that 45 right now. It's not Colt 45. We're just looking for just a straight 45 right now. Hopefully, get up. There it is right there. Yes, sir. We're not going to hit anything. We need to go up a lot more than that. We're just scalping, which is why I'm happy when we get 12 cents. I know it's ridiculous, but hopefully we get a little more now on this. Microsoft's starting to work a little bit. Again, we shorted more at 92 there. We got to fill at 72. At least that's 20 cents. But hey, let's let this market go, baby. I could honestly, if Microsoft wants to keep going up, fine by me at this point. To be honest with you, I'm just going to change my default right now and make sure that we get out of the right amount in case this market does continue to go up, because there goes AMD back into 37 again. We're only long at 21. Let's go. 21 Savage, 21. Right now, upside, nice move. Let's see if we can keep going. Apple now trying to go as well. So far so good here as, yes, sir. Ooh, we're making a little bit of money back right now. Yeah, anybody asking, this is live trading. We are trading the actual equity. We're not trading options or anything like that. So these are actual shares. So if you're noticing price differences, maybe you're off a little bit on a time, but these are live actual equity trades. AMD, this is now 302.47, 48, 49. We are in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada, 51, 52, 53. So just in case, I'm not counting anything other than the time right now, just to give you guys an idea of where we're at. There's a nice trade for AMD, man. I mean, buy 20s, get out 40s. So now we only have half left of this trade. And now we hold. Now, if this market wants to go back upside, let's go. Let's go test that high again, market. Let's go for a little jog. Maybe we can get back up here on that. And if not, we've got Microsoft short, but we have Apple long, we have AMD long, and we have Meta long. So, we're in this, man. We're in this to win this right now. And let's see if the long can hit. As I'm thinking we're above the 50 period. Let's see if it wants to go for a little bit of a jaunt, at least back to this level. And then we'll start to empty some out. But we're making some decent cash back here long. Let's go. Now there goes AMD. Now AMD's getting some juice behind it, baby. So that's what we're talking about right now. Nice trade now on AMD as we're starting to get more out. This is, hey, man, hitting targets, right? So as targets start to get hit, we start to get out.
Yes, sir. And next target up on FRC, it just hit 13. So I did take some out initially off that 13 level, but it's about to actually just broke it now. I like that 1250. If you're wondering why I like 1250, the halt up was right around that 1270 area. So I'm looking at that halt area from the first up halt at about 1275. I want to get some out if it does continue to the downside. About $1 in the money here. I just think there's lots more room for it to go down. If you're only tuning in now, FRC has been under some trouble in the last couple of weeks, hence why when the market is going up, it tends to not care. Brendo, what's happening now?
60 minutes ago, guys, we are green across the board. Finally, it took basically all day, but finally, nice look here for the entire market. 0.67 for the S&P, 0.96 for the Dow, the Russell, all of them as well, positive. 0.2 for the NASDAQ, holding on. Same story for the NASDAQ 100 there, 0.13 back to the upside. If you're with us early on this morning, we got you all caught up on Credit Suisse over the weekend, being purchased by UBS forcefully, it sounded like. FRC and PDD among those we talked about in the pre-market this morning. But yeah, all about this. Market rallies throughout the entire session here ahead of Fed Chair Powell to come on Wednesday. And again, with this Credit Suisse, UBS maybe providing a little bit of stability as far as confidence is concerned. We're back to 75-25 towards maybe we get that quarter point hike coming up on Wednesday. FRC, as Neil was mentioning there, ugly. I have a huge wick on my chart. But day lows, yeah, coming in right now. 43% again on that private placement this morning, guys. Back over to you.
Oh, that wick did not trigger. I just put a trailing stop in FRC, saw this wick. I'm like, oh no, that might have trailed me out there. Because sometimes we have two kinds of stop orders at Day Trade the World. Depending on which one you use, sometimes it will trigger when you get a bad wick on a dark pool like that. But it's continuing to flush down beneath 13 even. Looks like it's going to be a good one. DWAC, on the other hand, yeah, it caught a bit off 1350 and came back up to 1380. I tried to get more shares, but you can see now it's really not moving. So like if it breaks down from here, I'll probably just take the short as it breaks down through 1360 or wait for it to get up to 1340. Come on, FRC. So what I did here, why you see two stop orders, is I wanted to trail out a portion of it in case it doesn't tap this 1250 area, and then give the rest until that high and then hold the rest for the home run. If it does tap this, I'll cancel that trailing stop and kind of give it some more room. This one looks like it is heading down towards the low of the day. I mean, I just kind of feel like the low of the day is inevitable, so we'll continue to hit some home runs on this. I initially went, so this was actually my best stock on, well, it's not Friday, it was over a week ago. And then I came back in, missed out on the 17 short this morning, lost on it, sort of shorting off these levels. I'm just trying to make some back. And we missed the 15. Like the better trade on this was 17 break this AM and 15 break. But you cannot trade what's already happened. You have to move on to the next. To me, that was the first consolidation short after said breakdown. And now we're looking at low of the day, so I can cancel this stop order, that trail. We'll see how far this one does want to go to the downside. I tend to think 1150 is the low of the day, so let's go for in front of that. Double bottom would make some sense to me. It made a double top when it got back up to that 100 level a week ago. Let's see if it makes a double bottom here at that 1150.
All right, little stop out on Softy at the high, basically, but again, we stopped it. Like, we got a very, very quick fill there, take some profit, and then we did not average back into Microsoft because I am getting a little bit of feels on Microsoft to see where we're going to go on this name. Like, I almost think this break of 271.50 does send this at least to VWAP and then possibly back to 273, and then, you know, we've seen Microsoft just go on this. So, you know, what is going again? You know, what's been very, very strong has been AMD off that bottom, but we will capture some more out as it just went back, right back to the high of this whole move. So we were able to take some profit there as we lost a little bit and make a little bit back right there. Still hoping for a bigger move, but what's not working out is Apple. Apple, again, did not even come close to going back to its highs. So when this continues to fall down, I'm almost done with it right now. This is a weaker name than I had thought for sure. Apple right now, not making any sense to me. So if anything, it's probably a short if we do break back down below 157. I'm just going to wait and get out of everything if that does happen. But I want to try one more time here, like 157.20 in and around here, just to see if we hold. But then if we don't hold, then we have our out. I'm just making sure we do have our out. Yes, we do, on Apple. So let's put a bid down there again, 157.20 or so. We'll see if it wants to hold, but you know, if it doesn't, then we get out of there pretty quickly. So we'll try another bid right there, but it just looks pretty weak. So that's all. So we'll wait there at 18s right there. See if we can get a fill on that. FRC's down now to 1250. You guys want to talk?
It's just flushing.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about that break that we talked about right there at 15. Like, wow, that was a crazy break right there on FRC. So a nice move to the downside on that name. I know Neil's short on that, so that's a good one there as that one keeps on breaking lower, lower, lower. All right, let's just continue to watch out for this because I feel like we're going to get our Apple in right now. DraftKings is down to $17. Like, that's another name right here that we haven't talked too much about today or at all today. And it's been really, again, like on the 20-minute, we talked about this last week, like $19 up there all the way down. Hopefully this fills out, but you're just sort of double bottoming again right now at 17. So watch out. We just made a wick down there, 17. This could be a long as well on DraftKings right here. So we can wait to see for that bouncing off 17, but I think there's a possibility there. So DKNG all the way down now as well. We're getting very, very close to getting our Apple fill and then our Apple out. So we already know where we're getting out, breaking through 157. So here we go, man. Looks like we're going to get that fill. Are we or are we not at 18s? Right now for Apple, just making sure we do have our fill to get out. All right, I'm losing a little bit of patience with this. I don't want to miss it, so let's get some 24s maybe, and then we'll go a little bit less just to make sure that we have a better average price. So right now, there it is. Now that I get 24, you watch. It's going to fill that 18, but that's okay. We're waiting a little bit lower now to get the same price, so we're not waiting at 13s to get that, but there's a fill. We take a 24 fill, and now let's wait to see where we go on Apple. We got a good bid. We're right there on the 50 period, on the 1 minute, so let's see if it can hold that, and then if not, then we're gone. But already, Spidey sense is going off that Apple doesn't seem to want to go up, man. Like AMD went to these recent highs, Apple did not. So if I could choose strength, it would be an AMD for sure. Yeah,
I just got the reload on Tesla, so that's feeling like it's VWAP in here, that 183. I got 183.12. Okay, 183.12 and a half, so it's rounding up to 13. Sometimes it rounds up, sometimes it rounds down. I want to get to, there was a question about the wicks on the chart. I'll get to that in a second. I got offers into 184, just in case it gives this dollar range, which has been here the entire time. If we can't hold VWAP, then I got to get out of Dodge, and this market wants to reverse on me. Coinbase, I don't know. So I was looking for like the fills above 76, like the ones up here, like 76.30, 76.40 the last few times. Didn't quite get there. Complete reversal back into VWAP. If it bounces again, maybe I look for that 36 or so that 76 level. I obviously have missed it at that point. A little frustrating. And DWAC, I looked for the short once it broke the consolidation. Missed it, but it came back and picked me up at 13.60. So I got 65, a little bit of some shares left over from the 80 short. Now back in this one at 13.65. Volume's tapering off, so the chances of it making another push to the upside are slim unless the volume wants to come back into it. I'll get some out in front of that 13 quarter consolidation from earlier in the day, whatever you want to call it, right around here. And see if it can't get down to that 13 even. I think it can head lower, especially with the volume dying off as it is. And just to get this out of the way, so our charting platform, like TradingView probably doesn't have some of these wicks. Our charting platform just tracks every single print and puts it to the tape. If it's a late reporting dark pool print, it's going to paint it to the tape. Now, I know it didn't trade there because, quite frankly, I have stops. And I can look at the level 2 to know it didn't go there. But that's the reason you will see it at those levels. And FRC, by the way, headed down to the low of the day. I'm covering at the low of the day. Maybe it makes a double bottom, maybe it doesn't, but that's what I'm looking for. Oh, Credit Suisse just filled me. I was like, yeah, something filled. Credit Suisse back into VWAP. So I said I would get another 20% out if it got back into VWAP because it's been holding 95s pretty well. I doubt I get the chance to short a dollar again. If you're tuning in for the first time, we are day trading and we have to be flat or out of positions by the end of the day. Ooh, Tesla just broke VWAP. Bye-bye, Tesla. My only long is now gone as Tesla took VWAP on me. But we have to be flat at the end of the day, so I might have to cancel the notion of shorting again off this $1 until possibly tomorrow on Credit Suisse.
Yeah, I just put a bid here on Tesla too, 181.50, sort of down almost near this bottom right there to see about a test a little bit lower. What's up to Dan Emmons there in the chat? What's up to everybody that's there in the chat? Beat Fanatic, everybody, Bears vs. Bulls, Sam, Haggins there, everybody that's here. Crisp X, what's up to you as well? Anybody that I've noticed for a while, say what's up to everybody there in the chat. I mean, I know Neil just dropped his last long. We're still in a couple longs here. Apple just went up, and again, like, you know, we took that, we got long at 24, we took it out at 38. I mean, if you guys are unaware of scalping or anything like that, hi, my name is Sean, and like it's just like this is what I'm doing. So we'll wait to see if Apple wants to continue to work. We're going to try it again off this 157 bottom. It's just it keeps hitting it. And we're on a prop floor, so we can trade multiple trades in a day. Like I've already have about 300 fills today, which is too many for sure. But my fees are $9. So just to let you guys know, we're not getting eaten up by fees at all today.
You win
based on that. So all right, let's go to AMD just real quick right now. So it is falling back in. Where's my damn bids, man? 03s on AMD is what I'm bidding. So I'm going to put that at 50 right now. Cancel my 03 and then just put another fill down there similar. So again, I just want to get long. We just fell down in now. And again, when I'm setting these lines up, sometimes in my bids, like sometimes prices are a little bit differently than when you look back at them. So right now, there it is right there. It's a 50 period on the 3-minute chart. And it looks like right now, yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit nasty the way we're moving around, but we'll see if we can hold that 96. That bottom right there, 95.80 for AMD. I don't want to be in it for that long though. So if we break lower, I think we'll just get out somewhere around here, but we can probably hold it for that bottom 80s. Yeah, let's try that. I'll hold it for that very bottom of 80. I'm just gonna adjust my stop now that I see that.
So did I, Tinus asked, did I wet my beak today? You know what? No, I didn't actually employ that kind of a, so when we say wet your beak, it's like you want a position in a stock, but it's not really at the price level that you're going for. So you kind of get a starter position a little bit further away, but that's just so that you have a piece of it in case it makes a big move. I never did. And if I had done so, maybe I'd be happier about Bed Bath & Beyond because that's exactly what I should have done. So first things first, FRC, and we'll get to that in a quick second, but FRC has now, it's not quite the low of the day, but you can see the bottom end of the channel. It's now bounced off 12 even, so I have a trailing stop. It's about 12.85 in here, like a penny or so off that, and then crossing up aggressively, so either it hits the low of the day or trails me out. But when you wet your beak, to me, that would have been short 95 on Bed Bath & Beyond. Didn't quite get to like $1, but you can have a little piece of it, so if it goes for the rest of the day, you've gotten into position and you're feeling it out a little bit. It just never happened for me. What I did get, again, Credit Suisse, not nearly as good, off a buck, but it is now trying to bounce off VWAP. If this breaks 95, I think it can head down to 90, but we're running out of time for that to happen, and that's the reason I'm out. Steve G says I should have shorted Sundial. I don't know. I haven't looked at that stock in forever, but you're probably right. I don't know. I don't have anything against Sundial. It's just that it was a really, really good shorting opportunity every time there'd be big spikes in crypto. Not crypto, you know what I mean.
It's on the screen.
There you go. And that was my go-to. Everyone has a go-to. Some people like Tilray. I like. Some
people like Indica. Some people like Sativa. Let's go over there to Brenda. What you got on the big desk?
A few people were mentioning this one, AMBI. We talked about this a little bit last week, I think, on a couple of occasions. This halted early on this morning, back to the upside here. Day highs, in fact, right at, into the last hour of the day. Didn't see much on this outside of the fact this is 1.9 million shares for AMBI, guys.
Big, nice float.
Okay.
Yeah, nice float.
Yeah, so we'll go like this, sirens up a little bit here, because this is what happens to me though, guys. Like, again, getting a little bit nervous, waiting for that little pullback in to this very bottom. So we took shares, but I did cut them a little bit down there at 96 because we were a little nervous about where we were going with AMD. But there it is, man. We just bought the bottoms. And I told you we were trying to scalp this out. And it's like my net is growing like as we're doing this, so I don't have any problems doing it. Let's see if AMD can get back up to the upside right now, and I don't have any more outs until we're up here 40s, 50s, things like that for AMD. So let's just try to target those spots and see if that will work to get out for AMD to that upside. Shout out to Halim, the barber. He is not into. Most barbers won't work on Monday because they've been busy over the weekend. So I'm gonna have to get a haircut hopefully on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. 157.50 coming for Apple. I don't know, but we just went long there at 157.20 and then out again at 30s. So again, more 20-cent trades for us right there on Apple, hoping to get a little bit more. NIO, like talking about some Chinese name right now. What was that, a name you're looking at or what? NIO right there today, huge move to the upside before falling right back down again. Wow, off the open, man. A huge move for NIO. Like, what kind of rocket was that on?
It was Renata in the chat. I don't know if Renata's Haddad is in the chat, but she was asking this morning about NIO, and I remember pulling it up and saying, the money fills are above $9. So Oh, goodness. It did break 9. See, look, the last time it was at that 9, it was constantly breaking it, then flushing. So it got to 9.12 here, got to 9.25. The next day it was 9.10, and then held beneath it. So I said, let it get to 9. Then you short it, like, as it's breaking 9, give your out to, like, 9.25, and then you just take the fills there. I obviously didn't do it. I'm going to assume that was right around noon or close to it when we had our meeting. But that's actually, no, it wasn't. This actually was tradable. It was at 11 o'clock. It's when I got up after we finished the show. In the morning show. Kind of a frustrating one, but sometimes it happens. Adam DeLoes asked in the chat, thank you for asking. I actually had a great vacation. I'm a baseball nut, so I love spring training. But there's a Philly thing. So Philadelphia has their spring training in Clearwater, which is right next to Dunedin, if you know Florida, meaning there were an absolute crap ton of Philadelphia Philly fans down there, and Eagles fans, which, you know, that's not my team either. But what's weird is, I was on YouTube, just kind of like one night, put my daughter down to sleep. I'm kind of surfing YouTube, having a glass of wine, and all of a sudden I keep getting suggested this video from Bill Burr. So if you know Bill Burr, you know about the Philly rant. I don't know how it knew that I was kind of seeing too many Philly fans around me, but it suggested the Bill Burr rant, so I gave that a listen a couple of times. And if you like Bill Burr comedy, it was legendary. Like, the guy was getting booed the moment he got on stage, and then it gave the single greatest I do not like this city rant of all time. Apologies to anyone that's in Philly, but if you like comedy, it is hilarious. And I was feeling it, man. Philly fans they love their team. I'll leave it at that. And we were at the Jays game when we got our asses kicked by them on Friday, but it didn't really matter. It was spring training, so I wasn't too happy with the Philly fans there. But it was good to kind of release some of that anger by listening to the old Bill Burr Philly rant. Man, Sean, if you've never heard it and you like Bill Burr, trust me when I tell you, it's one of the funniest things you will ever listen to. There's a story of Bob Saget where he's like, he was there
Everyone loves Bob
off
Saget.
stage, and he's talking about listening to that rant and how ridiculously good it was. Because every comedian was getting it from the Philly fans, and Bill Burr was just like,
oh, was it during like a comedic event? Like there was.
Yeah, it was a huge lineup was there.
Yeah,
and he was like, I'm not dealing with it. He's like, my entire rant, I'm not doing any of my material. I'm just only roasting Philly fans. And then he kept telling them how much time was left in his rant and that he wasn't going to tell any jokes. It was great. I love Bill Burr. That dude is.
I'll have to listen to it.
He's in my personal top
I just
10
remember when Ty
comedians,
Domi dragged that Philly fan into the penalty box and started, you know, just feeding that guy in the box. That was hilarious. Shout out to
Yeah, that's right. It was the traveling
Domi,
virus tour. Opie and Anthony.
Okay. I'll Google it. It'll probably. I have Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast or whatever.
He's great.
I download that all the time.
He's great.
He was a Mandalorian. Okay, so here we go. Again, took advantage of this move up, right? But look, not long lasted right now as the market's just dancing around back and forth, and I sit here trying to figure this out. So there it is, another long in AMD, and we do have our drop zone right now for them, and it's getting pretty close on AMD, dropping through this 80 mark right there. We've talked about that. Just double checking here. I was going to take Tesla long. I'm going to cancel all this stuff right now because some of these longs are filling up right now against me, so we're going to have to watch out for some of these longs coming back in. We're still $1. I mean, by the way, like the forgotten child right here, Meta, all the way to the upside. I was just letting this thing run. I mean, we were $1.50 in the money on Meta, and I just let it run and like just ignored it there. So, like I said, you know, should not have. Okay, so now AMD is near sort of a kill zone for us right now, and it looks like we may get killed. We're only long at 96.01, so we'll live to see another life. Like if we're a cat, we're like on our like fourth life right now on some of this. So let's wait to see if we can get it back to the upside right now on AMD. But again, very, very close to sort of pushing my limits here of what I'm expecting from AMD. So yeah, right now not great, but not bad either. We'll wait to see where it wants to go. Advanced Micro, hopefully back to the upside. We'll probably take. Like I'm thinking about, okay, so right now I'm taking a piece out 98 if we can get it. There it is. We just took a piece out again. That's for flat. We're long at 101s right there. So let's just take a piece out as it just rips back up to the upside there. Again, I don't need to lose my whole freaking day here. Again, that we've just made back because I'm wrong on a NASDAQ flat day right now. So let's go AMD. Let's show some strength, man. Show show the market what's going on right now with you, Lisa Sue, and AMD back here right now. So let's go back up to the upside right now with AMD. We'll see if we can get some more out here and then let this thing ride. But right now we're near a pushing point for us. And hey, Meta's still pretty good, man. Meta's still now $1.50 in the money, and that's trying to go back to the upside right now. So hopefully that will. But yeah, look at AMD. It's going to be a small hit. Like, we've made money back. Even after getting out of this, our net is going to be fine on AMD because of these moves. But yeah, right now it looks like we will lose about 20 cents as it's trying to threaten this break lower here. Sorry, guys, but that looks like that's what's about to go down right now.
Yeah, what's about to threaten is DWAC a little bit. Well, maybe not that badly, but I just want to adjust something on Coinbase, because if it's not going to get back up to 76.5, I don't think I'll get more of that short. But it has some support at 74 with 30 minutes to go. I'm just going to take it out if it gets down to that 74 level. If we get a chance to short at a better price, fair enough. Don't think it's going to happen. DWAC, it's now barcoding off here, so the way I'll play it is if we break out that 1380, the original price, I'll just get out and then work into another position. So I kind of get more shares to have a tighter stop, if that makes any sense. Because if it doesn't want to move more to the upside and we don't get any other opportunity, this is kind of that last-ditch effort to add into it. So a little more shares, but a little bit of a tighter stop, not really giving it all the way to VWAP. And then sort of the same outs here. As I just added into it, I'll take a little more out when it gets to that bottom in the quarters. And then at 13, we still like that. Look, FRC, if there, I just don't think, I'm still in some of the short, and I still have that trail in. I just don't necessarily like the notion of getting into more short down at this level. Yes, it's consolidating, but this is already a bottom that it's put in here. I feel like it could make a bounce, enough that I'm trailing out of it if it breaks this consolidation. Otherwise, we're going for the low of the day. Credit Suisse, I want to hang on to this. As long as it's beneath the buck, I like it. Ooh, that wick. As long as it's beneath the buck, I like it. But if it doesn't break soon, I'm taking more shares out at 95. And I already talked about Coinbase, not much to see there. Nvidia, I'm not sure we get the opportunity to get back into Nvidia here. It's a little bit frustrating. I stopped out of it, missed my chance to get back in at 260 because it went to 259.75. Now you're bouncing off 258 again. That's the chip name that I decided I wanted to trade this afternoon. It's just not giving me another entry. And I don't want to dance around in the middle here. You know, if I go long at 258, that's too tight of a stop, I think. I think the real support will be a little bit closer to VWAP. We're going to get an early look on the imbalances in about 4 minutes or so. That could give us some insight as to where this market might be heading. It's never locking, you know, it's not a lock that if the imbalance comes a sell, we're going to go down. If it comes a buy, we're going to go up. But it can give you a bit of an indication as to where this trend could go. If things are still reversing off the top and it's a sell imbalance, this gives me a little bit extra juice to like those shorts in case we get them, guys. So looking over at, what was that? The last one I was looking at, it was Amazon. That's what I wanted to go to. I know Brendan came with that news story about Amazon, but it's still not doing a heck of a lot. But there is something that can happen here in Amazon I want to set up for tomorrow, because I didn't trade 100 on Amazon this morning. If Amazon sniffs 100, tomorrow, and I don't trade off of that level, I don't care what direction, whether it's breaking out longs or shorting off that 100. If I see 99.90 or whatever it is and do nothing about it, then somebody slap me in the face, because that, to me, it was a lack of preparation. I didn't realize it until it was too late that I missed that opportunity. Just didn't really give it a long enough look doing my morning preparation, but I don't want that mistake to happen. It's down 2%, but that 100 was, and it was gold. It's like, that was a mistake. SI, not shorting that, was obviously
Amazon
a mistake.
went $200?
No, it had one wick. So here you go. Like, it was, here, I'll show you guys. It was consolidating right here at 99.
Oh,
it's
but that was in the pre-market.
But this is exactly, it was Coinbase all over. Like, I didn't wait for Coinbase to get to 80 to trend short it. It's beneath $100, gap beneath that level, short the consolidation, then short every single pop. That's the setup. As long as it's beneath, you look for the short. I didn't even look for the short because I didn't realize it was beneath $100 until it was. Yeah. I think you said something when it was at like 97.
Oh yeah, I got railroaded by Amazon.
And then I was like, oh yeah, Amazon.
Oh, it's because of the jobs.
It was the job cuts.
Yeah, but you should see the chart. There's a chart of they doubled their workforce.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The post-pandemic.
They went nuts on the pandemic hiring. So
these cuts mean nothing.
The fact that they're cutting jobs.
They do mean
yeah, I mean, we don't want to say about people's jobs. I mean, that's obviously bad. I tried to go long only on Amazon on that release. So here it was. We tried to go long eventually before. Actually, I said it got railroaded. We did not. Now that, I mean, my net, whatever, man. I mean, I'm down $100 on it. It's like, that's, for me, that's, anyways, whatever. It doesn't, net doesn't matter. But I wasn't too happy with it, as you could just see. It's briefly, and then, you know, why would I, you might look at this and say, how the heck could you actually be down on this stock? It's because I'm not trying to play around. Like when it comes back down to these levels, I take the shares. And when they break, I get, you know, it sucks and that's fine. But that's why it's like, if I don't get out there, like to be down $100, like imagine I'm up, and then to be down. So it's like, if I don't get out there, like this is, I might be shut down on the day. Like if I hold it all the way to the bottom, like I'm not about doing that. So, you know, we'll get out of the way on that one. And then just like I keep saying over and over again, live to see another day, man. Like this is, for me, I just, you know, you kind of like have, today's like I got some dirt on my shoulder, you know, shout out to you, Jay-Z, the other famous Sean. And honestly, it's like, I don't really, the other one being P. Diddy, right? So there you go. I'll just brush it off, but right now AMD is brushing me off a little bit as it just went to 96.20. So we got out, like it just ripped up there. We got some out, like look at these outs. That's 11s, that's 17s, I think. What is that, Phil? 15, sorry. So, you know, we're making money on the way back up, but then we're holding to try to get a big move in case that's going to happen. But that's not going to happen. So we're going to have another out if it does come back up. Watch out for that dip buy. Again, we are not dip buying. We've already gone in and out a couple times. This is how old Sean revenge trades. But right now, we've already seen this happen. So if it wants to break, break. But I don't need to be standing in front of these freight trains over and over again, especially when it's 3:30 and we are a half an hour away from the market close and 20 minutes away from the market imbalance. And I don't know if you brought it up. Well, we just got the early look. We just got it right now. So I was gonna say, I don't know if you mentioned it, but we just got it. $1,944,000,000 to sell right now on the close. So that could apply pressure to, oh, look what Sean has. Long, everything. So that's not great. Microsoft, we're long again on that name. Like, look, we get stopped out there, and then Microsoft prints us. Like, again, even if you have 100 shares there, that's still $80. But again, Microsoft downside. We pick up that long off that bottom again, and now we'll see if we can get it back to the upside right now. 50 cents in the money for Microsoft, $1.20 in the money for Meta. A whopping dime piece, which we love, by the way, in the money right now for AMD. And we'll just see if there we go. We just took another piece out because it went right to 50 period again. And Apple, an amazing 9 cents in the money on Apple as well. So right now we're like hanging on by a thread on all these longs, man. You can't get more aggressive tech names. Apple, AMD, Meta, Microsoft, like, unless you're throwing, like I could be long Tesla right now, but these are some pretty aggressive names. Chips, Apple, Softy, Meta, let's go. It's not Nvidia though, but we'll see if we can hold some of these levels and see if we just get going now into the close. Although that billion sell is looming large.
It is. Resistance is looming large, but the NASDAQ's up on the day, and the ES is almost up 1%. That's worth keeping in mind. Nielsen, like, the names I have short kind of has something in common. If you can't tell what that is, FRC, Coinbase, Credit Suisse, DWAC. None of those are tech names which are rallying. They're all kind of relatively weak for their own reasons at times. But this FRC, it continues to hold $12. It just bounced again. I've tightened my stop another time here. It just feels like if it's going to hold 12, there's always a chance of some short covering to end the day here. So I just want to be lined up ready for that if it happens. You know, it halted to the downside right at the beginning of the afternoon show. Okay, like maybe like 30 minutes into the afternoon show, shorted the first consolidation, and it's been a good one. But all good things likely to come to an end here, as it looks like it wants to try to catch a bit of a biz. Just letting you guys know, if it doesn't get to the low of the day, I have a relatively tight, I guess, trailing stop, you'd call it here. If it does want to break up, fair enough. I'll just get out of Dodge on this. Coin, I don't think we're going to have a trade. And DWAC, like I said, I just added into it and tighten up the stop. It looks like it's going to stop me out. If this makes another move tomorrow to the upside, I'm probably going to try and short that move as well. Missed out on the 15. That was a bigger one. If it wants to do 15 again, if it wants to do, you know, that's a good level at the 50 period here. If it wants to go 17, 18, I'm down with that. I just need to see more than one day out of DWAC for me to ever want to start looking at the long in this stock. The trend speaks for itself on the daily. You go long more than one day. It's happened one or two times. It's actually been a decent long for more than one day. And I'm talking about the last year and a half.
What stock?
DWAC.
Yeah, DWAC. Yeah, DWAC's been a shit show for sure. Dumpster fire a little bit. What's up?
I'm getting that flicker, but
you are?
Oh, I always have it on this screen.
Then it's a P Pro A problem.
It is. It's always this. It's always
a screen with all the action on it.
Yes. Okay. I was just telling Ron.
No. Replace the. No. I'm not. No. Replace the thing. I don't want to. Because you know what? Actually, since you've replaced the monitor, I haven't seen it on this one yet.
You said that it flickered once.
It did, but I haven't seen it since. So, okay, back to the show. What's up, guys? All right, so just in case you guys are wondering, spin it. So finally, right there, now we're starting to go upside here. Apple, 25 cents now in the money, so that's better. We'll start taking some more profit. And this is what I mean. Like, you know, again, obviously, you know, I'm a professional trader. I've been trading here for 22 years, so I think that hits that qualification, making an income off of trading and whatnot. So when you're sitting here looking, when these things start to happen, you got to take advantage of this over and over and over again and understand your own style, right? There's going to be many traders, and I'm just talking about, just because I know Dan Emmons is in the chat, and he talks about holding for longer periods, and we had a rune on last week and things like that. There are many different styles and many different ways to skin a cat, right? And it's just like, that is the whole point of trading. Stick in your lane, stick with what you're doing. And honestly, I'm not having a positive day. I'll tell you, I've already told you, we lost too much in the morning shorting this Google as well, which, by the way, you know, talk about not revenge trading. I don't even really consider this revenge trade. It just broke these levels that I didn't think it was going to break. But these are all shorts right there. And then the only thing that I screwed up on Google right now is the fact, and again, when I'm talking about when I'm convinced of a trade, especially like around here, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, like those are power money moves for me. Like that's when we want to make that cash. And we're having a great month again. You know, again, not talking about what other people are making, but we're doing really great. And I can't fault myself for taking trades that have worked before, but it was right into here on Google. Just way too many shares, and I can't even zoom in. There I can. Like, you see what I mean? We just kept getting stopped out. Like this level, holding against that level, it broke. Then holding out against 101.50, that broke. And then we went up to 10, you know, so just all these levels just kept on breaking against high areas. So the only place I should have done was maybe not get out. Either way, I'm losing big. It's just a matter of how many times I'm getting back in. So I look back, and like when I get out at this level, 101, then I say to myself, well, why didn't I just hold for 101.20? So then I dig in again. So that's the thing that I have to really watch out for what I'm doing, right? But hey, I got 99 problems. Advanced micro ain't one, maybe. So let's wait to see if that can go back up to the upside right now. It just took out 26s, and I'm sitting over there justifying my bad trading on Google. So let's go see if we can get another fill up here around 20. We'll take a piece out, but it is starting to go back up to the upside. That is advanced micro devices. We're still $1.10 in the money on Meta. Hopefully that can go. And Mr. Softy still trying to get back to 271. We'll see if we can make a dream happen there.
Yes, sir. Mr. Softy, bring me a treat.
Yes.
Look, I was just talking to, I think it was Beat Fanatic, and he was like, get out of your DWAC short. I told you where my stop was. Just above 13. Okay, I said it was above 1380. I didn't specifically say it was at like 83 or 85, but you guys get the drift. But I did stop out of it, so I'm out of that one. But a monster level was just there. I don't want to interrupt, but there was, it was about 500,000 shares on the bid of FRC at 12 just now, and it got chewed up. I mean, like there's still some aggressive sellers down here. So it's through that 12 a couple of times and kind of going back and forth. I'm just continuing to trail it. I'm going to actually cancel my bid because I had a bid in front of the low of the day. At this point, it doesn't make any sense to just throw it out there. I'll just continue to trail it and see how long we can hold on to it. This one is continuing to flush. Someone just dumped a boatload of shares. Took a while to chew through that level, but eventually, you know it's going to get through it when it happens, guys. So it's still under pressure, still flushing to the downside. And yes, UBS Ben broke VWAP. I'm still covering some of the CS trade, but understand that they're going to move together. So UBS breaking down, Credit Suisse. When I say CS, you know what I mean. I think it's about to follow suit. It's consolidating beneath VWAP. If it continues to flush on UBS, I think Credit Suisse is likely to get down to the low 90s. Still holding out for that. And then, of course, you'll have that Coinbase short. But it was really more about DWAC. That'll be a hit. Well, we took a little bit of a scalp trade for a win. Then we took it on the second reload. But FRC is the one for the afternoon for me. When this moves, it's worth the opportunity. Just usually giving you these. A stock that's going to give you 50 to 60% or 100%, there are times when it's going to make sense to trade it. There are other times where maybe you back off. I tend to not be aggressive when it's doing this nonsense. When it broke 17, fine. When it's doing this, I stay out. After it halts to the upside and consolidates, then I want to get back into it. Again, flat bottom breakdown, consolidation, that's when I would rather trade it as opposed to unless you catch the absolute bottom, there are setups that work for that. But unless you're there when it happens, you got to be watching the stock to catch a bottom like that. And I wasn't sitting here at 12, but this one heading toward the low of the day. I promise you I'll be back on the stock looking at it tomorrow as long as it's moving like this. We like flat bottom breaks. This is the first time in a while that I have not looked at an EV name that wasn't Tesla. Like I didn't look at Rivian once today, Lucid once today, and I feel like you have to put your attention into the right places. When these kind of small bank names are moving, they deserve a little bit of focus.
All right, one more out, guys. We can't stay true to ourselves if we don't start taking outs when we start to rip up a little bit. And there it is right there. So we'll spin it one more time right now. You guys wanted more banks. That's for you. Adam to lose up there. It's for you for Beat Fanatic, Euthanasia, Sunny, JJ, everybody. You guys want more banks. And there you go. Right now, just getting up to the upside right now. On some of these longs, we've made a lot of money back right now. So I'm honestly, where we were at lunchtime compared to where we are now is, for me, a lot better, obviously. So hopefully that will come through on the show and you guys are able to see some of these trades that we've just put on right now. Like, again, not to talk about the same names over and over again, but there's AMD all the way up. So we'll just continue to watch it. Let's go over to a new name right now, PayPal, PYPL. Let's see what PayPal's up to today. Square keeps popping off on some of these imbalance or these locators from trade ideas. I'll show those in a second. What's up, Ponzi Fonzie? There you go as well. There's PayPal right now going back up to the... You all right over there, Prad? Here we go up to the upside. The boys having some fun, and I like that. So 72, 72.50. Just looking at PayPal because we get that alert that we're taking out VWAP right there. So it's back up to 73, hitting some key levels right now on PayPal. So right into there, taking out some levels. But we got the alert, I guess, because it was taking it to the downside. But that's not. I don't want to go short right now on names. As yeah, buddy, some of these names starting to go back up to the upside. PayPal right there, 72.80. What's up, Liz? 72.80 right there on PayPal, worth it to possibly go long on PayPal. I have the message out. Okay, wait a second. AMD, all right. I was like, wow, okay, net is moving a little bit right now. As there's AMD, let's go. 40 cents now in the money on AMD, as this is my largest position right now, so it's starting to go up to the upside. And just a quick little brief here on Meta. If Meta takes, so I know we're long at 196.40, and honestly, guys, we should have taken it out at 198. I thought the market would rally and Meta would rally with it. It's one of the strongest names in the market right now. So, 197 right there to go to the downside. We're just going to get out because right now, although the market is going, look what the market's doing. This is for my guy Fahad right now. The market going upside, Meta downside right now. So this is making me nervous about the long that I currently have. But look, 99 problems, same joke again. Meta rate, or sorry, AMD, nice move. Let's take another piece out there as we are now well in the money on AMD as that continues to rip to the upside. So enough outs right there. Let's put another one at 50 as there goes Advanced Micro. Yes, sir. So again, stick with strong names and get rewarded, it looks like here with AMD today. It's not strong on the day, but these levels here at 96, we wrote it down right here on the sticky note, 96, and we just played off of it right now and got a lot of our day back right there. So far, so good on some of these longs. And Microsoft, by the way, oh ho hum, this is only 80 cents in the money. So we're making money back, man. We're multiple dollars in the money added across. So far, so good right there. What's up, Abish Desai there? Yeah,
FRC freaking ridiculously crushing. Not if you're long the stock. And again, it's not fun what's happening in some of these banks. Like, we get it, but the trend is to the downside. It is what it is. I just wanted to point something up because someone put in the chat. I was looking at an hourly on Tesla, so that's where I was going to go. And then I saw that note on where's my Tesla. Oh goodness, now I don't know where my Tesla chart is. But someone was saying a lot of people are stuck in Tesla if you look at the higher time frame. I don't know that I necessarily disagree with that notion. If you look at the daily on this one, it does feel like it just made a bit of a break, but I don't think anyone's in any trouble. I'm talking long or short in the last little bit. You might have some longs that are trapped up here, but as long as it holds the 50 period, I think they feel pretty decent about where they're at, and it's been bouncing and riding the 50. Anybody that's kind of been shorting it in the bottom end of the range, I think they could feel the same way too. Like, if you were shorting this when it broke down and you have like 175 into 180, you're shorting that range, it probably needs to get it back above 195. It's still in the pocket when I look at the higher time frame. I think it gets interesting if it takes out 190 or doesn't hold the 50 period moving average. So I just want to mention that one. I keep on looking over at CS, and why is it not going with UBS? So there's some buying in here. Yeah, it's 340. So there's some buying in here. Does not want to seem to fall with the rest of the market. Oh, FRC just finally trailed me out. So it's continuously moving that trailing stop. Close enough to the low of the day. That was a target 1150. Move the stop to 12. It's back above 12. To me, 14 to 12, you'll take it every single chance you get it. It's not nearly as good as what this was doing last week. Like last week, well, sorry, 2 weeks ago, I should say. 2 weeks ago, it was giving you some ridiculous trades. Still good, but you're not going to see this. Okay, I shouldn't say that. You're very unlikely to see this move. Like it went, $100 down to like 20s or something like that, and kind of retracing back and forth. Those are moves you don't see very often. Unlikely you see that kind of volatility in it, but if it's giving you 50% in a day, there are going to be good trades on this stock. It doesn't seem like it's moving as much, but the second this was breaking beneath that 17 floor, the short was on in this name. And I'm going to go back to the well tomorrow as long as it's beneath that 15 and that 17. Those are two good levels. $10 probably inbound. And then you're talking about a hat size. It can always squeeze, but right now this is just a short every single chance you get on consolidations and pops.
So I don't know where you are. I'm 110 ranked right now on this. So that's pretty bad. We're going to wait to see. I have Houston going through. But check out this. In third place, most beautiful entrant in the pool, my wife right here, third place.
Oh my God.
So there you go, man. I don't know if she made a great decision, linking herself to me, but she definitely made some great picks here on the day. So nice move, man. Really, really aggressive there. A shout out to whatever happened to Tony. He gone, man. Tony just went different direction. He's cool with us. Man, Tony's a great friend of the show. We'd love to have Tony back on, and maybe indeed I will reach out to get him on again here. What's up to Big Pick Energy, man? You got some great energy.
I like
there.
their chances.
I like them as well. Texas. Yeah, Peter, shout out to Peter McIntosh. Shout out to whoever this person is. Oh, yeah, my wife. And then ESPN 251702829. Congratulations, ESPN fan. Blah, 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 again. What's up, David Jones? Everybody there. Paul Trader in Seattle. What's up to you? Joe Buck yourself. I love that name. What's up to you as well as we continue to go. And I told you, I got my uncle to join right now. So here's Jerome Powell. He's in here right now. He's got UCLA. So we'll wait to see if, shout out to that. But hey, Kling Daddy, you're in the chat a lot as well. And I just say to do that. What's up to my dog who's passed away, unfortunately, but he's still
If you don't say it, I have to, because you kind of glossed over one that has to get said, at least on my part.
Then go ahead. I honestly,
Go Green.
Oh, go Green. Michigan
so I'm
State.
a Michigan State fan, and I did not pick Michigan State to go all the way through. I'd be doing better than 77th if I had them a little bit stronger. But go Greens in 15.
Come on, man, Neil.
In spirit, I used to always throw my bracket off by just automatically putting Michigan State in the Final Four, whether they deserved it or not. And I got away from doing that when I started to actually, I thought I'd be serious about this. I could have just gone with that strength. But I like what Texas, I watched a little bit of Texas play, and I really liked how they looked. So. Yep. I'm not going to win, I don't think. I have Houston, and Marissa has Houston, and she's way ahead. So that's the thing. Like, if you can look up, and it's like, well, if you're...
I mean, it depends. I don't know who she has in the Final Four. I could do some
I haven't looked at it.
And figure that out.
Yeah, I haven't looked at any deeper than that. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun to do. I can't wait till we...
No, you're not, Adam. Everyone's taking credit to be Trader TV Jerome Powell. So if that's you, Adam, then congratulations.
What about Joe Buck yourself? I like that name.
I said that
one.
You
did? Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
everybody.
I'm a fan. Who are you, Fahad?
Oh, he's the bottom 20, he just said.
Oh, bottom
20. He's bottom 20.
I heard top 20.
But Fahad did that on purpose. This was too easy for him to win, Like, that's the thing. If there's no money at the end of it, Fahad, he ain't playing with that. He's going to focus on his trading now, apparently, Fahad.
So Fahad, he can't, because he thinks he should be playing in the tournament, so he can't take it seriously.
Whoever wins, I'm going to be sending something to them, and they're going to be on the show. So you may, if my wife wins... You know what? It's funny. We were watching, and we got to go. There's only 2 minutes to go. We just watched an episode of The Office. You may remember this one.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm going to? Okay, I'll tell you what it was. It's when Dwight brought up the idea of the employee of the month to Jim. And because Michael was off and Jim was like assistant manager or whatever. And so Jim agreed with it. And then Dwight rigged it. So guess who won? Jim won. Yes. So it felt like, and there was a cash prize. And then Jim's like, oh, I have no idea what happened. He's like, let's see who came in second.
Yeah.
So who do you think came in second? Pam, the wife. Yeah. So it was just hilarious.
I see where you're going with it.
Right.
It's kind of like when Ian won the first giveaway that we did in the chat.
Our Ian?
Ian won.
Yeah, okay.
But Ian wasn't on the trading floor at the time. He was a viewer of the show.
That's okay.
He wins, and then like 3 months later, he's
hired.
trading on the floor.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, hey, wait a minute, that was rigged. It's not rigged.
But this is like, oh, whoever wins, like, oh, now the winner of the pool, my wife, and then she's live on the show. Like, people don't want that. So if she wins, she'll come on maybe, or then if not, we'll go the next person because we want to talk trading and all that. And so the only thing that my wife probably wants to trade is trade up from me. So we'll see if that comes through again. All right, only a minute and a half to go right now. Fahad can only be the winner. So that's that's another reason why he didn't want to join, because he was on the show all day today, right?
He's like, how can I pick amongst people that I'm better than? That's probably what he thinks.
Yeah. Okay, so right now, Neil, 1 minute to go, and then here's the imbalance locator as it looks right now. And those of you that are watching out for this, whoopsies. Yeah, that's okay. I always get rid of ARCA. Oops. Oh, no. I think I did something wrong there. Oh, no. Okay, mine might not load up.
I'm putting it up.
Yeah, I got to find out. Mine may not. Okay, you have to go. Well, Neil might. I don't know if mine will work because I feel like I just canceled something on here. I'll have to figure it out anyways. I think I definitely screwed this up. But all right. Oh, maybe it was a size filter. Okay, yeah. Anything greater than? All right, hopefully it loads up. But if not, Neil's going to have it. That's my bad. I screwed that up.
So a couple of things. That 12 bid on FRC, it's now trading up to like 1270. So close, not 1270, just touched like 65s or something. So good buyer in that level. Credits. I mean, this is from this morning. So in about 30 seconds, we'll get the imbalances. I don't know why I'm on Credit
I'm taking stuff out right now, guys.
Yeah, it's like the market. Look, the market is trying to make a bounce to the upside, but just remember, it was 944 million to sell, was the early look on the imbalances, so we're expecting that you could see some red. But this is what just happened in FRC. It is screaming off that 12 level. That's why we got out. Trailing stop the entire way. This is squeezing, and some shorts are definitely covering that name. So here they come through there we go. Lyft, 4 million to buy. Apple, 2 million to buy. XOMs to sell. Rivian, 1.6 to buy.
Look at this.
That's a big move up. Apple, big move, 2 million on that one. And Lyft makes no sense. 4 million on Lyft is not chump change. I'm going to that one.
We done. F yeah, bang for everybody right there. Microsoft, we just took $2 damn on Microsoft right now. So that's a nice move back up to the upside. Wow, we made back like half of our day, if not more right now. AMD, huge move to the upside as well as that's cracking out. I've screwed this up, and honestly, man, I didn't even look to see how to fix it because I had to get out of some of these positions. So I don't have the imbalance locator right now, but it was a whopping 33 million to buy. So, Neil, I don't know what all those added up to, but they didn't add up to much. But they are adding up to cash money.
There were sells.
They were sells, or there were some sells.
was their sell, yeah.
Okay, so there it is, man. Look at this. Boom. Nice little long there on Microsoft. Again, we just switched up our game, right? We wanted to go long, so this fell back into the 270. We picked up the 270 long, and you know, Bob's your uncle. Shout out to Uncle Bob as well. I actually have one right there. So there's a nice move. Upside, yes, sir. What's up to Adam DeLuz right there talking about AMD? Yes, sir. Look at this AMD trade. So this is like, I'm so much more comfortable trading when I can pick levels, calm down, and figure this all out. So there it is right now, AMD. Yes, sir. Like, hey, man, put some ones up in the chat. Like, this has been, honestly, I just hope, I don't know if people are taking my trades, Neil's trades, Arun's trades, whoever the heck's on the show. And I advise you don't necessarily do that. Take your own risk. But like we made back a decent amount of money here off the close, man. 90 cents in the money. Like Meta is now $1 in the money. Actually, you know what? Let's just take advantage of this, man. We only have 8 minutes left. Like I'm acting as if there's lots of time left here. All right, let's just set upside a little bit there. There we go. We'll take a 45 out. Look, I know Meta ripped up to their 69er, but we're going to take that out right now and start to slowly cancel all of our trades because I don't need any more bids. So I'm canceling these Apple bids now, getting rid of my stop orders. The only stop we have left is Apple and AMD, which is on board right now. AMD now 90 cents in the money and Apple 50 cents in the money. Apple just touched out at 75 there. Let's put an offer and get another piece out because, again, you know, we don't know. These imbalances are definitely affecting the market here, and it just shot up past the high of the day for the NASDAQ. We just closing at the high. Let's see, knock on wood. Probably just jinxed it right there, but let's see what now happens to Apple. Oh, shoot. It just fell down pretty good there. We could have got out of the rest. We actually don't have much out. As I said, as that number was coming out, we started to get out, so we didn't actually enjoy that move up to day's high for Apple, but we're sitting there now. And I feel a little bit bad that we missed that. What's up, David Kovacs? SI? I don't know. I didn't look at it. Is that?
I didn't look at.
Is it on that board?
I just got out of Coinbase because it broke VWAP on that imbalance move there. Look, it had to go somewhere eventually. Missed the reload at 76, but Silvergate didn't really do anything, so I'm not really sure what's going on. I will come in tomorrow thinking about short the pops on Silvergate. Obviously, it's too late for that to happen. Just getting out of Credit Suisse. I don't think it's going to make any further moves. And I would have probably looked at a short at 13 if it wasn't so late in the day. But it's, to me, too late in the day. The profit takers started coming back in. When I'm saying profit takers, I mean short sellers covering for profit, obviously. I don't think there's any long profits to be had unless you got the absolute bottom on this. Congrats if you did. It did make a double bottom. That made some sense. Shorting the pops, again, would have given you the gold on this name. It's super weak. And Logan flips. You thought SI collapsed. It's still trading? Yes, it is. They're not done yet. That's how it works. Is it probably going to zero? Yeah. I mean, if you put a gun on my head, you had to pick, is this going to be going to zero or not? I probably lean towards yes, but that doesn't mean it won't trade until something happens. So the final shoe has not dropped in this story. We'll see what happens with it. But if you just shorted every single available pop or consolidation, I don't know that there was a way that you could have lost on the stock. And Bed Bath & Beyond did this. I expect we could see some more of this on Silvergate. John Yates, Palantir, high of day. Is it? A lot of things got to the high of the day. The market's at the high of the day.
Yeah, that was
so I was focused on the weaker names. I like those shorts that were good, but there's a lot that's going to be at the high of the day, yes, but not really moving on Palantir. Back above 8, though. See, look what it's Palantir in this 50 period. It's back in love with it. So when I was gone, I guess it flushed through, but now holding that again. That should be good levels to work off of. More of a scalp trade on this because you only want to get the big moves off of your earnings for Palantir, but not bad. 780 in that 50 period could be worth a bounce trade tomorrow.
Yeah, Beat Fanatic talking. I mean, I don't. So first of all, we just got some out there at 40. It's kind of sucky. We'll wait again if we get something in the 60s for Apple, but now we're only 5 minutes away. Let's see if there's a reversal here. Sometimes it'll shoot up the other way here at 55 as some of these numbers start to get paired off right now. 355 hits just now, and Apple not really moving. We're $1 in the money on AMD as that's the high of the day, and that's all we have left. Let's just see if it goes, man. I mean, 97. I mean, I wrote down here, look what we wrote down. Microsoft long 277. That is a disaster. We took that early, and that actually, the 277 never came in for Microsoft, did it? So it was right there, 277. That's the long that we had. Then it dropped. It never even made it back there. And then the AMD 96 and the JP Morgan long as well. Let's see where JP Morgan finishes the day. Actually, right at 127. That's right where we called it. And then the Tesla long 176. Let's see how good that was. Right there, 176 long on Tesla was another call that we made. I only went up $10 from exactly 176. So, I mean, if that's Sticky Note Nation time, then that's Sticky Note Nation time. But we don't have that on there, but at least that was in there. So, yeah, I should have just, if we had followed this, we'd be 2 for 2 and 2 right now. The Microsoft long not work. Well, actually, we'd be 3 and 1. AMD long worked, JP Morgan 127, and the Tesla long. The only thing that was a disaster fire or dumpster fire was Microsoft, and that's quite clear. But we just made $2 on Microsoft back to the upside there today. So my disaster du jour, if I could eliminate Google, we'd be pretty close to green today if we could eliminate Google, but unfortunately we cannot. Unlike Fahad, we don't have that 5/8 account right now. So, you know, I would just eliminate this part of my day and blame some sort of a software glitch or something, but that is exactly what happened, man. We shorted Google all the way up, and for it to close right where we were short, fine, it doesn't matter, hindsight trading, but yeah, we definitely screwed that one up. We should have held it, obviously, to 102, but we'll see what happens tomorrow for Google, and that was my negative stock of the day, and I will finish the day red, my second red day of the month, so, you know, and again, that's honest, so that's what we're doing right now. We'll give back some of our month here today, but that's okay. As we just wait to see what's going down, Apple came all the way back as well, so we might as well get out of that, man. Only 3 minutes to go, and AMD is up now $1 in the money, bouncing its head off 97. That's good enough for me. Let's put a 90 fill there and take it out. There it is right there. We just get our fill there at 90. You can see AMD is now off on the board. We'll put a good money in our pocket there from AMD on that last trade.
So I'm hitting this.
Take this opportunity to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed. There's lots of bangs. There wasn't too many bangs today.
I can only hit that one because I only have 2 keys and I can't.
I told Katrina to get out here for ringing the bell.
I don't. So there's 2 minutes to go though, but I'm pointing that out because twice as many people voted on the poll than actually hit the like, and it's 69%. You want to see more Fahad back on the midday tomorrow. So I guess that's why no one else is voting. It's like, ooh, it's at 69. Let's just leave it there because it's found a nice little equilibrium. But it is overwhelmingly to the yes side. And someone in the chat just asked, is FRC going to close above or below 12 or open above or below 12 tomorrow? I don't know. I do know that if it opens above 12, I'm probably going to look for shorts in front of 15. If it opens below 12, I'm going to look for shorts into 12. So that kind of tells you how I want to trade it, but I'm not going to sit here and say I know exactly where it's going to open up. Something like this is going to be incredibly unpredictable. I just want the selling was impressive today. The rally was a relief rally after multiple halts to the downside. You will see that happen. When a stock goes down 50, 60% on successive halts, a lot of times there can be a pretty aggressive unwind. It did the exact same thing when it went back up to 95 that first time for that double top short, and then it ended up going back into 75 or something 2 weeks ago. So it was pure short covering rally, and then just back to same old short selling beneath major support. I'll be back toward this one. But thank you guys for a fantastic day. We got a minute left. I see she is here. So we are going to have.
We might get a double team.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Will we get Liz and Katrine?
I think Liz and Katrine could be ringing the bell.
Looks like it's...
Maybe they're both going to ring the bell in about a minute.
No, it's just Katrine and then maybe Liz tomorrow. We'll find out about that. ChatGPT apparently has been down for a bit right there.
No.
So just a shout out to that one right now.
Who cares?
With only now 40 seconds to go before we get Katrine. And hey, Katrine, how are you doing? Hola. Right there today, as we say hola. We're not allowed to play that.
Ooh, bonjour.
Are we allowed to play that?
I can if I wanted to.
No, she's saying no. No, you're not allowed.
I don't have it anyways.
Okay, good. So you're not allowed to. So, all right, you weren't here last week. She doesn't want us to play it. So, oh, yeah, right, because it's embarrassing. Okay, I get it.
Fine.
All right, Neil, with only 10 seconds left. We are both flat and no
off
positions right there. There we go. Nice one. I like that. There's Katrine. 3, 2, and 1.
One more. Boom.
Boom. Nice one there. Okay. There obviously there was some imbalances there behind us. So I guess that's what that was. My imbalance locator wasn't going on, but that was that right there.
There were a few, like Mullen had a big imbalance, Context Logic had a big imbalance. So there's a few that had there. I don't know which one printed big. I know Context Logic, it didn't really flush. That's not big a move there. But there are a few names that had some big imbalances. I'm not sure which one of them was that the guys in the back were excited about. But it was another fun day. The markets, Brendan, how did they finish? I know it's green, but how good was it?
Yeah, nice day, guys. Let's get the final numbers here for you as we wrap up on Monday. Back in positive territory, 1.2%. For the Dow leading the way, 0.32 for the NASDAQ. Remember, NASDAQ was red most of the session before getting green late in the day, 0.9 for the S&P. So, hey, we'll take it. 2 days to go until we get Mr. Powell on the microphone.
All righty then. Yeah, always exciting. And that's why if you want to get on our floor, you got to send in send a resume. We'll get that tomorrow. Just join us tomorrow. I'll get the address for you guys. Unless we have it, but I think it takes a minute to get that. So
if you give an apple fritter, you're automatically hired.
Yeah. You can tell by the guys behind us, the bar is very low to get here. So an apple fritter.
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I want good candidates.
I just want an apple fritter.
Yeah. All right. That's good, man. Yeah, we're really happy there. We'll all take some cold meds as we go and feel a little bit better. Shout out. Again, Luca's on vacation. He's feeling fine. Sharif, we know, is not feeling that well. Brendan's not feeling that well. And I'm feeling fine, but I'm kind of like maybe where Brendan was on Friday, where he kind of wasn't feeling that great.
I feel great.
What's up to Bears vs. Bulls? Thank you so much. There it is. It's Brandon at Select Vantage. Bears vs. Bulls. Got it in the chat. If anybody, thanks again, Bears vs. Bulls. Thank you for that. So big ups to that. You could just hit, what is it, hashtag, or it's not, what do you call it, exclamation mark? I don't know what it is, but he got it in there anyways. So shout out to that. It's Brandon at selectvantage.com. So thank you for that right now.
Rankles.
Like, I just got an Apple position that showed up out of nowhere, so I'm gonna have to get out of this one. It's a very, very light position, so we'll punch out of that. And that's about that. No earnings or anything going on, Brendo?
Nothing.
Nike tomorrow.
Absolutely nothing.
It's Nike?
No, tomorrow after market.
Yeah, right, because it's Monday. Yeah, we don't get much for that. All right, what a great day it was again today. Little slow I found until we finally picked up at the end. I keep looking to my phone. By the way, the Jays beat the Tigers 5-0.
Spring training.
So spring training.
Shocking.
On that one, I keep waiting for Aaron Rodgers, who went into darkness a Packer, thinking he wants to retire, came out wanting to play for the Jets. I feel like he might have got hit in the head with a brick while he was in that darkness. But we'll see. Hopefully he does get traded ASAP.
What is going on with that? Like, it's ridiculous.
Nothing. The guy's just a drama queen. He's going to let it play out as far as he can, and then we'll see where he goes. Either retire. Like, would you retire or come back for $60 million? I mean, let's just call it like it is.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Right now, yes. You would think it would be a rhetorical question.
I mean, it is the Jets, right? So.
Maybe he's going to go. But isn't Ken Jennings doing Jeopardy now? I think they've got that. That was something that he wanted as well. Okay, got an eyelash here. All right, for everybody here, thanks again, Prad, Fahad today, Liz. Thanks to Katrine for ringing that bell. Thanks to Fahad for the midday.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I think a star is born on the midday show.
We'll get him
there.
back tomorrow.
A trader,
yeah,
at
Free
least.
Fahad happened today. Should be a good one. We'll be right back tomorrow. So for everybody here at Trader TV Live, Brendan, Neil, Sean, we're back tomorrow at 8:30. Catch us then. Ciao.